have to be honest. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you this right now. My advice is to give them some chance, because right now they don't have a chance. They are walking to their funeral, going to the Azteca, playing Mexico right now, the way Mexico's playing. Right. But ask yourself this. Mexico beat Ecuador. What was Ecuador's biggest downfall in their loss to Mexico?
They didn't score at all.
Yeah. Well, doesn't help.
Their biggest downfall was the night before the game, the Mexico fans that were camped outside Ecuador's hotel, blasting horns and honking and trumpets. So how do you avoid this if you're England? A decoy bus with decoy players.
Stu Gatz and Company live is right here. Weekdays, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gatz.
Yes.
And he Gatz Company.
I love that.
Stu Gatz and Company live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports.
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
With whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes I like to talk. It's Stu Gatz and Company live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Right here on Fox Sports Radio. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken.
Wow.
You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app. And here's what you need to know.
Argentina survived with a World Cup overtime win against Cape Verde in Miami, 3-2. It was 1-1 after regulation. Cape Verde, ranked 67th in the world, did retie at 2-2 in the 103rd minute. Game-winning goal came in the 111th after Lionel Messi's corner kick. Egypt on penalty kicks, 4-2 over Australia in Dallas. The nightcap in Kansas City went to Colombia, 1-0 over Ghana. The round of 16 starts Saturday. The U.S. plays Monday night in Seattle against Belgium. The Lakers are trading center DeAndre Ayton to the Wizards. The Knicks are signing center Andre Drummond. WNBA wins for New York and for Las Vegas in overtime. To Major League Baseball, Milwaukee won in 11 innings at Arizona. In 10 innings, it was Cleveland over the White Sox. Tampa Bay won its 9th straight game. The Yankees ended a 7-game losing streak. The Dodgers handed the Padres a 7th straight loss. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That's right. Another edition of FnA on FSR. It is Kevin Figures. Adam also with you guys once again here on this 4th of July weekend. Happy Independence Day. Hope everybody's out there being safe. Adam, I'm sure, is going to turn up this weekend and do some irresponsible things, but it's quite all right. I understand. Yeah.
Never. No, I'm going to be responsible. We're going to that Ninja Turtles pizza place coming up on Sunday, right?
We are. Yes. Yourself, me, Bree, my wife, and my son are all going to check out this what seems to be very overpriced. I don't know if it's overhyped, but certainly overpriced pizza spot in Santa Monica, California, coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we'll be shelling out a lot of dough. It's not going to be easy, but we'll put out a mortgage, whatever it takes. It's Ninja Turtles. This is what we do here.
It is.
Speaking of, later this hour, okay, it's not geek news. We'll have some Stranger Than Fiction for you.
All right.
But we'll talk some Lakers and all the trials and tribulations they're going through. Even with LeBron gone, it's weird. Lakers fans are still upset. Rob Pelinka now has all the ire pointed his direction. Second hour.
I feel like he's had the ire pointed his direction for a long time.
I think there needed to be more of it at some point, but we'll get into that. We'll talk about LeBron's legacy with the Lakers. Second hour, though, Kevin, who do we got coming on?
Yes, Mark Medina, Fox Sports Radio, NBA insider, going to come on and talk about all these flurry of moves that have been made in the NBA, some seismic moves. You mentioned the Lakers. We'll get into another iconic franchise that made a questionable trade, to say the least, coming up here pretty soon as well. So a lot of happenings goings on, I should say, around the moratorium period in the NBA, which, by the way, Adam, I'm trying to remember. We remember the infamous DeAndre Jordan, Dallas Maverick, the driving around Dallas / driving around Houston.
They held him hostage.
Yeah,
they put a chair up against the door. And
So-
Mark Cuban was trying to find his house.
And I'm trying to remember, like the moratorium period was like 2 weeks back then. It was much longer, whatever it was. You can agree to deals, but you couldn't actually consummate deals for a longer stretch of time. And then the NBA shortened it, but it's still pretty long. Like the moratorium ends technically on what, July 7th?
Yeah, which means all those guys that are restricted free agents that people would match contracts with, I don't
Right.
think the 48 hours you have, if someone makes an offer for your guy, like say somebody tries to go after Peyton Watson, let's say the LA Clippers offer him $30 million per year all of a sudden. Well, the clock starts then on midnight of July 7th, and then a team has 48 hours to match that offer like the Denver Nuggets would have. It's crazy.
It's kind of weird. I don't know if I'm a big fan of it, to be honest with you.
Maybe we'll talk more about that with Mark Medina in a little bit, but we do have more World Cup action
Oh, my
coming
God.
your way in the second hour.
We'll talk about Team USA and their upcoming matchup against Belgium on Monday, but the action on Friday, I don't know if you had a chance to see any of it, Adam, was pretty epic. I mean,
I saw a little
Argentina and
bit.
Cape Verde was incredible.
Cape Verde game, that second goal by them to tie it was the best goal netter, whatever you want to call it. I'm a soccer casual in the tournament so far, and that's saying something.
Yeah, I think it's easily. And I mean, you're talking about David versus Goliath. I mean, this is probably the equivalent of a 16 versus a 1 in the NCAA tournament. And the way that Cape Verde, I'm sure I'm going to butcher it, and somebody's going to call me an
Cabo.
idiot on Twitter, which is fine. The way they performed in this tournament as a whole has been incredible. There's going to be some sort of 30 for 30 or Netflix documentary or some sort of biopic about this team and the run that they went on. To go 0-0 against Spain, to tie Uruguay, to do this against Argentina, have them on the ropes for a country as small as they are, with less than a million people, 500,000 people or whatever it is in their country, to perform that way, to have a guy that was an electrician and not playing pro soccer until like the age of 30 something as their golie.
I thought all the plumbers were in the NBA in the 90s. That's crazy.
The
Electrician
90s,
in
I thought it was more
2026.
like the 50s and the 60s. I was another guy that plays for Cape Verde that I guess was like, they hit him up on LinkedIn to see if he was interested in joining the team, and he thought that it was spam, so he ignored it. Like, there's just so many twists and turns and crazy stories for Cape Verde. It's an amazing story. I mean, like we all do, want to root for the upset. You want to see the great players perform on the biggest stage.
Messi did.
But Messi did. If they had lost, you couldn't pin this time on Messi.
No.
But you want to see Messi. You want to see the best players. I use the parallel in the NCAA tournament all the time. We
This
want to
was
see
George
upsets.
Mason here.
Yeah.
They took
But-
it as far as they could. They couldn't win the whole thing.
You probably took it as far as you wanted them to. You want to see the best players on the biggest stage. So with all due respect to Cape Verde, it was a great run. They showed themselves extremely well. But we want to see guys like Messi and Ronaldo, make it deep into the tournament and make a run into the semifinal.
You've
Respect,
earned our
yeah.
respect. Okay.
1,000%.
We'll also talk about some new rules in Summer League in the second hour, things that are changing there as it just kicked off tonight. Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers in the California Classic here on the West Side. But
What makes it classic, by the way?
yeah, I don't know why they call it that.
Can a summer league game be a classic?
Well, this one wasn't. I mean, the Lakers lost by 35.
Yeah, I'm like, what was so classic about it?
Even for a hater like me, it's like, that's not a classic.
No.
give in to hate.
I would like them to lose by 60 for it to be a classic. I mean, come on now.
Difference does it make?
Third hour, speaking of the Lakers, we'll talk about LeBron James, put a bow on his legacy. Does he have one with the Lakers? We'll discuss. We'll respond to what some other talking heads have said this week as well. We'll take your phone calls on it. We'll also get to other NBA moves. And then before the end of the show, Kevin, our favorite segment is returning. Mike on the
Mike
mic.
on the mic. Let's go, Mike.
Mike on the mic, who's doing some more producing. And now I am the master. Like, now Mike is teaching somebody. Like, we got it. Mike has been doing this for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're training somebody else?
Yes, that is how it is going.
All right. We got Skeleton Crew.
We got the
That's okay. It's going to
moving
work
up
out.
on the fast track there, Mike.
I
You'll
guess
be,
so.
You'll be the general manager of Fox Sports Radio by next week. So
Let's
Easy,
hope
my
so.
man. Coming up, though, and first off, let's talk about Jaylen Brown. What the hell was that?
Let's go.
It's go time.
Let's rock. First off.
All right, Kevin. There was a trade that was so bad, according to some people this week, that NBA Centel, which is fake news,
yes,
reported that
entertaining though.
reported that they saw Nico Harrison leaving the Celtics facilities.
It really is a strange occurrence when Brad Stevens, one of the best GMs, presidents of basketball operations in all of basketball, gets fleeced.
I mean, he's like the Theo Epstein of basketball.
Kind of, yeah.
Not
I'm
just
sure
because he's in Boston.
I'll say Bostonians will certainly love that comparison for sure.
I mean, he's
Absolutely.
brilliant.
They trade for your former Clipper favorite, Paul George, who's a shell of himself at this point in time.
I'm a dumbass.
No, I just mean trading for him. It's a curious trade. I don't think it was just made by one man and Brad Stevens here.
No. There's a lot of layers to this that we'll get into, obviously, but just, he's traded for Paul George, a couple of ones and a couple of twos. And look, we all knew the rumors about Jaylen Brown being linked to Giannis Antetokounmpo, and even Brad Stevens spoke on the record and said, like, we were honest with Jaylen and told him we were having these discussions. It kind of reminds me, I don't know if you remember way back, I don't know if it was 2007 or 2008 in the NFL. Okay. Remember, Tom Brady gets hurt. He goes down in like week 1 or week 2.
Matt
Castle comes in, leads the Patriots to 11-5. They missed the postseason because they didn't win the division. It's whatever stupid rule the NFL has.
That was the Jets' 2-year takeover.
Correct. Yeah. And Matt Castle plays well. Probably made the Pro Bowl, threw for a lot of yards, whatever. Josh McDaniels takes the head coaching job in Denver. He tries to trade Jay Cutler so that he can acquire Matt Castle. That didn't work. Matt Castle did not end up going. He ended up going to the Kansas City Chiefs and not the Denver Broncos. But Jay Cutler caught wind that they were trying to trade him. So then he said, bleep you, I'm out, and requested a trade. And then they go down the road of having to trade for Kyle Orton and then having to draft Tim Tebow. And we know how that worked itself out. There's a little bit of a parallel to that here. Jaylen Brown is, you guys were shopping me. You wanted to get rid of me. I was the finals MVP. I was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I led you to 50 wins last year without Jason Tatum in the lineup, and you guys keep trying to find a way to ship me out of here. I don't care who it's for. We have a championship roster, and you're trying to break it up by sending me away for Giannis. So
ship his ass up.
He never asked for a trade, but I got to believe that he was okay with getting his exit papers out of Boston.
Things must have been completely toxic and at a point of no return for them to give him up for this little in return. And we'll talk more about the return a little bit here, but at least perception-wise, at first glance, first blush, and it's still early July. Like, you could wait things out. You could try to see if you could have some reconciliation. You could see what Jason Tatum would stick up for his guy. Apparently he wasn't. That's fine. I'm not throwing any shade his way, but if Jason Tatum still wanted him there, he probably would still be there. So this was a lot of people being involved, including new ownership. And I think the biggest factor in this, what was that one question? The answer is money. Now, what's the question?
Yes.
The biggest factor? Well,
how much he's making?
He has a ton of money still left on his contract, including by the time the 3 years are over, he's making $65 million.
Yep.
But it's not just that. He is due for an extension.
Pay that man his money.
Which would take him to $70 million annually. And I think because maybe they believe he's a little bit mercurial. He's got the Twitch stream. They're wondering about, what his intentions are for the future with this team. And if he wants to be a number one option somewhere else, because he had spoken about how this was his favorite season. Even though he has a finals MVP, they won a championship before, you would kind of assume that would be his favorite year. But no, a year where they get bounced after blowing a 3-1 lead in the first round, he prefers that instead. So he's a little bit hard to read, but I did watch the Twitch stream he did yesterday. And I have to say, for the most part, I sided with him. He seemed, sensible, reasonable about it, practical. And he didn't go off. He didn't lose his mind about it. He just said, they packed me up. They packed me up. And he said one thing about Brad Stevens, but then said, but I think there's more going on. It wasn't, hot spit and venom or anything like that. It was measured. So I have respect for that. But the one thing that's been hanging out there over the last couple of weeks has to do with analytics.
Oh, you can count.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Get to that after, because I will say too, before we get to the analytics part of it, the mercurialness, the quote unquote being the smartest guy in the room thing, which is ridiculous. A lot of people are trying to make it into a racial thing. I don't know if I want to necessarily go that far, but And look, he addressed that on the Twitch stream too. He said the bar is not very high when it comes to professional athletes, which is kind of a patting himself on his own back too, to a certain degree when it comes to that. But we know he's an intellectual. He's spoken at MIT. He went to Cal. He's a smart guy. And I read something like that as because I've never, and maybe you can reference this, Adam. I can't recall somebody saying that Jaylen Brown was a bad teammate or guys didn't like him on the team.
No.
If he's butting heads with the front office, he might be kind of Aaron Rodgers like. He questions a lot of things.
Yes.
Why are you doing this? And it rubs executives the wrong way. And
because
I don't necessarily
have read him because some of the stuff he's doing, it's above their head. Maybe it's not, from what he was saying, like, oh, some of these athletes, they're not the smartest group. They're very easy to understand. He's not. He's a little bit more complicated. That's okay.
Yeah. And look, if a guy's going to do that, if that's the worst thing, and we'll get into the analytic part of it next too. But if it's about Twitch streaming and things like that, which a lot of guys do these days, that's nothing new. That's kind of part of the culture. Everybody has, their own channels and all that stuff.
Including a guy they just brought in Paul George, Podcast P.
100%. So it has to be more than that. And I do think the analytic thing has come up over the past week or so. And I don't think it should, especially when you're talking about players of this caliber. But I do think there might be some validity to the fact that as great as he is not analytically pleasing, for lack of a better term.
And I got to be honest, when I first heard some of these reports that were out there, that it had something to do with analytics, that there were GMs that felt like he's the 7th best player on the Boston Celtics, I have a hard time believing that. I'm sorry, Brian Windhorst. I just do.
That was a dumbass play.
What they might have done is taken a lot of their numbers into their Ken Palm computers or something, and the computer told them based on their algorithms that he's the 7th best. But
sure.
No, nobody, objectively speaking, who watches basketball would ever say that. Peyton Pritchard is not a better player than Jaylen Brown. All due respect to Peyton Pritchard.
What I will say this is not analytics, but over the last 5 years, they're 47-10 without Jaylen Brown, which projects out to over an 800 win percentage.
I just see that stat.
Which means you're a 68 win team. That is not analytics. That's not. Now, there's still more to this, though, because this season they won 56 games. Jason Tatum didn't come back till the end, looked miraculously to be pretty close to where he was beforehand, and I expect him to be much better with the full offseason to train after the Achilles. But in 10 games just this year, you mentioned Peyton Pritchard. He was averaging 25 points, 7 assists, 5 boards, shooting 51% from 2, 44% from 3. The Celtics went 8-2 in those 10 games without Jaylen Brown. I think what some of this is simply Boston has built such a good team. They have such great role players. They are analytically inclined, wisely so. They've been deep into the playoffs. They've won a championship. They consistently have been one of the best teams in the league going back 7 years now. But you look at some of the on-off numbers, and I grabbed the splits between him and Jason Tatum. And this is since 2020. So we're talking 6 years. And this is low-level analytics stuff. I mean, offensive and defensive rating, that's the new norm now.
Yeah.
It's the new norm. They use it on graphics on games, like for casuals. Nobody just goes off of points per game you score anymore because that doesn't tell you what pace you're playing at, and therefore the other team could be scoring more. But
you can use it, but I also think that's a little bit of a flawed statistic too, but sure.
Yeah. All offensive and defensive rating levels things out per 100 possessions.
It does.
So it takes pace out of it. And when they're both on the floor, the last 6 years, Tatum and Brown, they're outscoring teams by 8 points per 100 possessions in standard NBA game around 100 possessions. When Tatum's out there by himself, and this is over 7,000 minutes, they have a net rating of 10.1. When Brown's out there without Tatum, they only have a net rating of 4.2. Those 6 points, 6 points better with Jason Tatum out there versus Brown out there by himself, that's pretty significant. That kind of tells you who's better next to the role players with these guys and who's better overall. It is Jason Tatum. Even though Brown has the MVP, even though he had the Eastern Conference MVP, he guarded Luka Doncic. Like, He's very good, but he's not Jason Tatum. He doesn't have that same level of impact out there.
I said this last week. I said Jaylen Brown is a great player, but he's not a superstar.
No, he's not, and he's being paid like one.
Yeah.
And I think when you go off the factor of the analytics, say that he's not the most efficient guy out there, he's turnover prone, and he doesn't impact winning as nearly as much as Jason Tatum, and then he also is being paid like he's Jason Tatum or one of these other guys on a max contract because he got his in 2023. Remember, that was heavily scrutinized because he was the first to get that $300 million super max. And everybody said, you're giving this to Jaylen Brown? Well, I said at the time, it's like, well, that's kind of the going rate. The next guy will get the same.
Right.
But if you could get off of that and still be a 50-plus win team, which I think they will be as long as Jason Tatum is back and Paul George can give him 50 games, whatever. They're so well built in Boston. I think they believe they can survive. I don't know if they'll be as good in the playoffs.
That's
I don't know
the thing.
If they'll be a championship level team.
What is survive? Yeah, they can win 50 wins, but they're definitely a worse team now than they were before.
Well,
and I know Jaylen Brown might not be. He doesn't shoot well from three. We understand that, but he shoots 47 from the field and about 43 from three. But he's a mid-range assassin. That's kind of where he lives and attacking the basket. Still a plus on the defensive side too. Like you gave the on-off numbers with one of them and the other. I mean, but together, along with the supporting cast, they're a championship contender. I think Jaylen Brown on that roster with the addition of Mitchell Robinson, which is kind of what they were missing, was beef in the middle. They could have vaulted themselves and kept themselves right at the top of the Eastern Conference as a contender. Right now, I see them as a secondary contender in the Eastern Conference. I don't see them as one of the favorites to come out of the East. I don't.
I agree with you. They would need a lot to go right for them, but I don't think it's that steep of a drop off, meaning the more I looked at some of the numbers, basically, the more I felt like, okay, there is plenty of logic to this. It's not just about nobody would take him or give them more than Paul George and 2 first-round picks. It's the contract and the analytics. And if they can turn around those picks and they go out and get somebody like, I don't know, Trey Murphy from New Orleans or somebody else, I think they very quickly could be right back where they were. We have to see what they do with the assets they have, and it's not easy. But if Jaylen Brown also wants to be a number one on his team now, and they want to avoid that situation, and they want to avoid the contract extension talks, which are going to come fast and furious, I kind of get it in that respect. I don't think I'd want to pay him $70 million moving forward either a year.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to be said that you necessarily have to. He has 3 years left on his deal at this moment in time. You don't have to extend him, and if whatever team that he goes to can flip him a couple of years from now, if there's a contender that thinks they're knocking on the door, they can trade for him. I think part of the reason too is the general market. I just don't know what's open for him. If you look at the contenders or pseudo contenders, I'll go down a list of a couple of teams, Adam. So your Clippers had Kawhi Leonard, 35 years old, extreme injury history. It was only going to extend with one team. That was Toronto. If he had got traded to the Celtics, I don't think there's a drop off there. I would keep them right at the top and vault them to one of the favorites in the Eastern Conference, but that doesn't happen. Real contenders like Cleveland, like Evan Mobley would be a great asset that they want to trade for. Denver as well, but they're both second apron teams. They couldn't make that sort of trade work. Anthony Davis, injury prone. Detroit, they're not going to trade Cade Cunningham. So my thing is like, where is he going to go? Like Portland was one of the teams that was cited as they don't like him analytically. Would he want to go to Portland? They're not ready to win anyway.
Well,
I just don't know if there's team fits out there for someone like him at this point in time either.
I think it's just easier said than done to have a guy who's disgruntled, who thinks he should be the number one now and thinks he should get an extension. And you're just going to be like, well, you're under contract for the next 3 years. Like, that's a tough battle, I think, in today's NBA. The only guy that's really kind of dug his feet in, and it only lasted for a second, was Pat Riley with Jimmy Butler, who was like, why do we have to give these guys an extension when they're still under contract? And while I can agree with that, this is the CBA now. These are the rules. When they're extension eligible, guys want their money. And if not, it can get nasty. And I get, the more I read into it, the more I look at it, I get more Boston's perspective of why they had to do it now at this time, because it may have gotten worse. If that was the value they got now, and teams know they're desperate to get rid of Jaylen Brown because they're not going to pay him, or he's disgruntled, like, they're not going to get more. It's a rough situation.
I go back to something you said early on. If I can, I would try to go back and see if I can mend that fence, because I know what this looks like when those two guys are together and they're healthy and they're playing well. the analytics for me, at least it comes down to if you're talking about a role player and how they fit next to a star, Jaylen Brown is a star, and we've seen it work with him next to Jason Tatum. They've gotten to the finals a couple of times. They've won a championship. We know the formula works. I would try to find a way to see if I can salvage it as opposed to trading him for what, at least to me, is pennies on the dollar.
Look, maybe they did. Maybe they knew it wasn't going to happen. I don't know.
It's possible. Yeah, it's very possible.
Coming up next, can the Lakers salvage this offseason and some of the moves made by Rob Pelinka that have Laker fans more upset than when LeBron James was hijacking the franchise? We'll talk about it next. FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
It's your 4th of July weekend, and it's become a tradition like no other. Colin Cowherd's salute to America. Take it away, Cowherd. Great job, Colin. We're celebrating 4th of July weekend on Fox Sports Radio.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging
Let me check that for you.
to help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone,
Real quick,
AutoZone.
NASCAR, race day, driver gets glory, right? But the pit crew, 9 seconds, 4 tires, the track personnel, the engineers, half those people are veterans and military family members, and you've never heard their names.
That's why Vet the Vote launched Unsung Heroes' new campaign, honoring the VMF behind the scenes in sports and honoring those who keep serving as poll workers in their own communities. Same discipline, same leadership brought right to your hometown. VetThe.vote/NASCAR. Check it out.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know we're on YouTube? Fox Sports Radio. You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live.
It's so good.
Covino and Rich. Oh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube.
Wow.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
It's Ben Maller.
It's the gas bag on the radio who is tossing verbal raspberries at you.
Your late night getaway. The big dog.
Big.
Got it? I disagree. Good.
So I have abstract art, Fisher Price, and the mighty Zoltar.
What the hell did he just say?
It's the Ben Maller Show.
What kind of acid was someone on when they cooked this up?
Listen on the overnights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove all the doubters.
When Dan Patrick speaks,
Yeah.
you better stop and listen.
Yeah.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
You know, Diana Taurasi, I don't think is on the poster. Tamika Catchings is not on the poster. Candace Parker not on the poster. Sue Bird not on the poster. Now, granted, you can't have everybody on there. I get that. But, okay, the current face of the league, and some of the founding fathers here, or however you want to describe them, but, the founding members. So you got to put Angel Reese on there. You got to get Angel Reese on there, get some clicks. I mean, Paige Becker's just got to the league. Wonderful player. But come on. Like, how did somebody go, let me see. Who did we leave out here? I don't know. Looks good to me. I mean, is Cheryl Swoops on there? Cynthia Cooper on there? Cheryl Miller on there? Like, I don't know. How far are we going back? I have followed women's basketball for a long, long time. And as much as I look at the WNBA, the growth of it and the stars, they go 92 yards and they kick a field goal. That's the feeling I get. It just feels like the WNBA doesn't get it. Take advantage of these moments. Sell the stars. And but you have a poster and you forget to put. I mean, Taurasi's one of the 3 greatest WNBA players of all time. Like, we're not even debating these things. Oh, my God.
If you want to know what Dan Patrick said next, just podcast it by searching The Dan Patrick Show. And as always, you can listen to Dan Patrick live weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, on Fox Sports Radio. I did. It's Dan Patrick. Yeah, him. You trust Dan. You need Dan.
Nobody needs to know that.
Because without Dan, mornings just wouldn't be the same.
This is guaranteed to go wrong. Horribly wrong. Absolutely.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Need I say more?
Shut up. Yeah. That, to me, was a little cringeworthy there.
Listen weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Right here.
I want publicity.
On Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. 2 pros and a cup of Joe. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Godson Company. Live. Cavino and Rich. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
FS1. From first things first in the herd to your sports teams. FS1 has what you need. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details.
Wait till they get a load of me.
FnA, Cotton, FnA. Welcome back in. It's FnA on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Adam Moslem. He's Kevin Figures. Be sure to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube, and you'll see our best videos from all of our shows. Hit the thumbs up icon and comment away. Let us know whose takes you agree with, and even those who you don't. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube and subscribe.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, Stranger Than Fiction with Adam Osland. But right now, we've finished talking about the Boston Celtics in the first segment of the show and Jaylen Brown and that interesting trade. Their rivals across the country also raised a lot of eyebrows of many of the moves that they made. Obviously, the major one, getting Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz and basically trading away every asset they have from now until Kingdom Come. This is the guy that they wanted, and Walker Kessler's name has come up with the Lakers for the last 2 years. I feel now he was a restricted free agent. Utah initially didn't want to pivot, but when the Lakers are willing to give him that salary and give them all those assets, they didn't say no. And so this is the lob threat, quote unquote, A-list center that Luka Doncic says that he wanted.
I gotta say, I don't mind getting Walker Kessler, even though they overpaid, because what you'd want, since he was a restricted free agent, is just to be able to offer him such a big contract that the Utah Jazz would be unwilling to match.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just that. It wasn't just giving him $130 million. They had to give him 2 first-round picks to let him go.
They avoided that. I mean, because they could have offered him. I mean, the contract that Jalen Duren is kind of talking about, trying to get $400 or $45 million a year, whatever it is. I believe the Lakers could have offered as much as $40 a year for Walker Kessler if they wanted to, and they didn't.
Duren could get more because he made an All-NBA team.
Correct.
Walker Kessler played 5 games last season.
I agree, but they could have offered him more money, and
Sure.
they didn't do that. And I think the reason why is because they gave up the assets to Utah, so that was a little bit of the trade-off. So he has a more reasonable salary. If you want to call $32 million a year reasonable for a guy that, like you said, played 5 games last year and gets, averages 10 and 11, sure. He is 24 years old, and I do think he has high upside.
Yeah.
He showed that he was trying to extend his range to the three-point line early last season. Extremely small sample size, as you mentioned, but he immediately improves their interior defense. So there's that.
I do think that's the trade that you have to make to appease Luka. It's the rest of the team building that I just don't understand. And it's been like this with Rob Pelinka forever. I've been bitching about it for at least 4 years now. He refuses to bring in the necessary two-way players, and it causes roster imbalance because a guy's good on one end, but a liability on the other. He's good on offense, or like, Gabe Vincent or D'Lo, but he's bad on defense. Or he's good on defense like Jared Vanderbilt, but he gives you nothing on offense. It's the same problem they've had for years, and they've never addressed it. And I don't think they did a good job addressing it so far in free agency.
It's just the lack of savviness in how you formulate these contracts too is interesting. So a couple of guys they signed. So Quentin Grimes, they give him 4 years, $60 million, essentially about $15 million a year for a guy who's a solid scorer. I don't think he's that great defensively. Some people have tried to pump up his numbers. He's okay, nothing special when he tries.
Agree.
So he's not someone who's going to do anything for you defensively on the perimeter. You have Mamu, whose name everybody's been butchering over the past week out of Toronto.
Mamu.
So just call him Mamu. 4 years, $52 million to either be your starting four, which I think will be a disaster, or your backup 4-5 guy, which is probably where he's better suited to be.
Yes.
And then Colin Sexton, who is a small, although quick guard, who's can really score as a microwave scorer guy off the bench. I get it. I don't get it for the compensation, especially considering the best perimeter defender you had last season was Marcus Smart. He ends up going to the Houston Rockets for $6 million per year for 2 seasons. So you can't pay him $6 million for 2 years, but you can give Colin Sexton $9 million for 2 years with a player. By the way, all those guys I mentioned all have player options. This is another thing that doesn't make a lot of sense when it comes to Rob Pelinka. He gives every single time, all these guys that he signs to extensions all end up having player options at the end.
Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, it doesn't matter who you are getting a player option as the sweetener to come to the Lakers because that's the carrot they have to dangle to get guys in, or maybe Rob's just not playing hardball.
Yeah, if it's a sweetener, then you're taking less. I'm not giving you a giant contract and giving you a player option. It can't work both ways.
I think the Colin Sexton contract, it's funny. I like all these guys individually on different teams. It's having Mamu, Sexton, and Quentin Grimes all on the same squad when you have other more glaring needs out there. Like Kelly Oubre, I think, is getting about $8 million per year.
He's getting $8.5 million a year on a 2-year deal.
Why not bring him in?
Instead of Grimes,
He is a solid two-way wing that gives you a little bit on both ends, that is playable in the playoffs. We've seen him there. Like, he has experience. That's the type of guy. If you had paid him and Marcus Smart, and you still have enough left over to bring in Mamu or Quentin Grimes or Colin Sexton, one of those guys, well, you have 2 wings that can give you that defensive, I guess, platform, or at least pushing you to above league average.
Yeah, they're not great, but they're better than what you have now. They're upgrades.
They were 20th in defense last season. Yeah. They bring in Walker Kessler. They're asking him to clean up everything. It's like, is that reasonable to do for a guy who we've never seen in a playoff series, haven't even seen in a play-in so far, haven't seen play really competitive basketball because he's been in Utah, and now he's getting paid $32 million a year. You better play 82 games and give me 36 minutes a night. And you better hold this defense down as the defensive anchor, because we don't have guys on the perimeter at the point of attack to slow down any of the great, guard play that we're seeing currently, especially in the Western Conference.
Yeah. And then also I see Anthony Simons signed a 2-year contract. He's making $6 million a year. He and Colin Sexton are not necessarily carbon copies, but they're kind of the same player. Small guards, microwave guys off the bench. I think Sexton's a little bit better going off the dribble, but I'd take Anthony Simons for 6 over Colin Sexton for 9.
Agreed.
Like, it's just the formulation, the amount of money that they're paying these these guys is ridiculous. And this is the best GMs are the ones who are able to win around the margins. I mean, everybody likes to use Sam Presti. I know he's kind of a unicorn when it comes to finding guys in the second round and having them be giant playoff contributors for you. But Brad Stevens, look at the depth of the Celtics, like we talked about last week. The Knicks, guys like Alvarado and Shamet. Shamet signed an extension, but last year he was making next to nothing. Finding guys on the margins that can actually come in and contribute for you That's the mark of a good front office. And that is something that Rob Pelinka has failed at ever since that bubble championship team. And he broke that up for the Westbrook trade. They've never been able to get back to that.
And we'll get into more of that, I'm sure, in the final hour when we talk about LeBron's legacy with the Lakers. But Rob Pelinka, I think, is failing them right now. And maybe he's doing what Luka Doncic wants. And Luka says, I want shooting. I want other guys who can handle the rock. Okay, you did that. Great. But when Luka got to the NBA Finals, he had Derrick Jones Jr. in the starting lineup. He had PJ Washington in the starting lineup. Two really good defenders next to whoever their big was, Gafford or Lively at times. And they were really good defensively. Now, you can't get two guys in the starting lineup with this Lakers team to help offset the fact that Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic are out there who aren't the greatest defenders. And then you don't want them having to exert so much defensively. You're going to lose their offense that way. I think it's been happening with Austin Reeves over the years, and he starts to slow down a little bit in the playoffs because of that, because he has to work so hard defensively. I just don't get it in today's modern NBA. I'm not saying there was an easy move out there for them to vault themselves right next to San Antonio or OKC, but you could still make better moves in trying to optimize the lineup.
Yeah, and give yourself more. I mean, Rob Pelinka said this at the end of season press conference about having optionality. You don't even have a lot of maneuverability as far as tradable contracts. All your first round picks are gone. They recouped a couple of second round picks on Friday when they traded DeAndre Ayton to the Wizards, and they picked up a guard that they can probably flip here if they wanted to. He has a player option for the second year, which essentially is an expiring contract. So maybe there's other moves to be made. But I mean, as far as the free agent market, it's kind of dried up. You're talking about bringing back Rui Hachimura, who doesn't help you defensively. You know what he is on offense. He's a lights-out three-point shooter, and I guess you know what you're getting with him. And the Jonathan Kuminga, who's been linked to him as well, who's a giant wild card. You don't know if he's going to score 30 or if he's going to sit on the bench because he's a head case. You have no idea what you're going to get from him on a night-in, night-out basis.
I think I'd rather have Kuminga of those two only because his ceiling's a little bit higher and he is the better defender. But to your point, he's got to be much more consistent. Is it finally going to work out on his third team? Are you going to be able to get the best out of him? I don't know. I didn't like the move they made today, Kevin. DeAndre Ayton for 2 firsts and
2 seconds. Yeah.
2 seconds. Excuse me. If they got 2 firsts, they'd be
crying
tears of joys.
Yeah, he would be the GM of the year, executive of the year for that.
Jaden Hardy and getting off a little bit of money from DeAndre Ayton. The first thing I thought of when they got Walker Kessler, I was like, they probably have 2 of the better centers because DeAndre Ayton is a backup center. He's probably a top 5 backup at least.
Easily.
As much as people make fun of him, as much as people don't like his attitude, for $8 million last year, he more than gave you that as a starter. He did. Well, you get that coming off the bench in 15 to 20 minutes per night against other backup bigs, you'd be in good shape.
Well, this is them having to play some cap gymnastics. A lot of people talking earlier today, they committed a lot of all of their salary to all these free agents, but they were actually over the amount of money they had in salary cap space. So they had to get rid of a contract. It's hard to get rid of Jarrett Vanderbilt's contract without anything to attach it to. So DeAndre Ayton was
big time
as a backup center, which is what he's going to be in Washington, offers value to them if and when Anthony Davis ends up getting hurt and they need somebody to give them some minutes. They get a couple of second-round picks out of that, so they have 2 second-round picks and a swap. Many people believe that they're going to try to use those to clear money to sell off Jarrett Vanderbilt's contract. So the only reason they traded DeAndre Ayton was because they needed to free up salary cap space so that they can fit all of the guys that they reached contract agreements with.
I just think it could make them significantly worse. If Walker Kessler is hurt, DeAndre Ayton is a solid backup. Andre Drummond's off the board. That still would have been a downgrade. Who exactly are they going to be able to get as their backup center when their starting center is young, but he has some injury concerns now? I would have found another way, even if I have to use the stretch provision. You hate to do it with Jarrett Vanderbilt, but to save some money, I don't know. We'll see. The free agency is not done yet. I want to see what their final roster is here before I put final judgment on Rob Pelinka, but I don't know.
If off to a great start.
If LeBron James, and it was reported, actually said he didn't like the way they were building, and that was one of the reasons he wanted to leave. Well, I don't like the way they're building either right now. I'd rather have LeBron James instead of the money that they used on Quentin Grimes and Colin Sexton. There's your $25 million for LeBron right there. You can still have Walker Kessler.
there's an argument to be made that if they would have swung the trade for Walker Kessler and just brought back the majority of the roster from last year that went 15-2 in March.
Yeah.
They're probably still not beating OKC or San Antonio, and let's be real, they weren't going to beat OKC and San Antonio regardless of the moves they made. You're hoping that they're going to make incremental steps to improve and eventually get themselves there going into the following offseason. This is a step back, and you have a bunch of bad contracts that are not going to be movable. It's going to take some crazy gymnastics for them to put themselves in a position where they can get to that level in the next couple of years, because right now I don't see it.
Coming up next, we've seen too much of these stories lately. Another Guinness World Record we have to make fun of in Stranger Than Fiction, because these things are getting way out of hand. He's Kevin Figures. I'm Adam Moslin. You're listening to FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Whipping out that banana hammock you call a Speedo.
I need baby oil.
Brother.
Throwing on the thong bikini just to take that selfie.
I know you think I'm perfect, but I'm not.
And listening to us all day long. Your summer fun in the sun is right here. We are Fox Sports Radio. Can someone hand me the razor? I need to trim. If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Check it out. The Herd. When Colin Cowherd drops the info, The Herd, you need to listen.
Right here.
The Lakers are doing a solid here. They're letting LeBron and Rich Paul go to Shams, go to Chris Haynes, and say, we're moving on. We've got a lot of options. They don't, but I do think the Warriors is a real one. It would be great. I'd be rooting for LeBron. It would be fantastic. It says here from Shams, Rob Pelinka, Rich Paul spoke a short time ago about the four-time champions' plans. James said, yeah. Start of free agencies tonight out of courtesy and appreciation for their run together. Allow LA to conduct its off-season business. So the Lakers, more than LeBron, because I've said LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves are duplication. None of them are good defenders. All of them need the ball. It doesn't work. I mean, you watch the Spurs. You have a dominating defensive center. Stephon Castle, defense, offense. Dylan Harper's, De'Aaron Fox. I mean, you just got all these guys have Vassell. They've all got different roles, and they fit into different spaces. I said this for years. If you run the New York Times, you've got the crazy liberal, the moderate liberal, the centrist right, the right. You want to have a bunch of stuff. Now, it's the New York Times. It's mostly left, but the point is you want the down the middle. You want center left. You want far left. You want slots filled. You got the games you play. You got the crossword puzzle. You buy The Athletic. It fills your sports department. You want slots. You're constantly filling slots. Lakers need a center. Lakers need defensive wings. They don't need another guy that needs the ball who doesn't want to defend.
If you're eager to find out what Colin said next, just podcast it by searching The Herd. And as always, you can listen live to Colin Cowherd weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Right now,
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick. The WNBA keeps growing. They celebrated its 30th anniversary, so they released a promotional poster. Now, this on top of what happened with Caitlin Clark. So they have this anniversary poster they're going to put out. And you're like, okay, there's a lot of players to celebrate. You can have the older players, former players, the newer players. You know, they had Paige Beckers on it. They had Angel Reese on it. They did not have Caitlin Clark on a promotional poster to celebrate 30 years. That'd be like if the NBA put out one and they didn't put Wemby in there. And you'd be going, well, of course they'll put Wemby in there because he's the future of the sport. Caitlin Clark didn't make it. Now I'm wondering, did the WNBA do this? Was this strategy so people would be like, I can't believe what they're doing with Caitlin Clark?
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is the Jason Smith Show.
Check this out. Pay attention.
With Mike Harmon.
The Jaylen Brown trade has taken over the NBA. The Celtics send the former NBA Finals MVP, who was probably the MVP of the league for the first 60 games this year, to the 76ers. This looks ridiculous. Why would you trade away a guy this good and you get back a guy that any team takes a bunch of Maylog? Oh, we got Paul George. He's not. Why are we getting him? Come on, man. Paul George, he wasn't a 1. He wasn't a 1A. He wasn't a 2. He wasn't a 3. And we get draft picks. We don't need draft picks, man. We're trying to maximize the team we have now that won the title a couple of years ago and still has a prime. What are we doing? And right now.
You're listening to
Wait,
Jason
what's
Smith
Palinka
with
doing?
Mike Harmon.
What are the Clippers doing?
At 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. There are so many things you don't like.
I hate the guy. Hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him. I hate him.
Like those talking Muppets that spew some random hot takes.
Yeah, there's a word for those people.
Moronic.
Wait, what's Palinka doing? What are the Clippers doing?
Zip it. Not us. We only bring you the
Keaton
sports
Wagler?
and entertainment you want.
We deliver insight, not noise, and we give you
Better. So if you want that other crap, you can have it. But when you want the best, you stay right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Well, you can get another Paul George or something for that, right?
Live programming. FS1.
Oh, no.
Big games. Big takes. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details.
Good
FnA Cotton, FnA.
It is FnA on FSR. Coming up in about 10 minutes or so, Mark Medina, Fox Sports Radio NBA Insider, going to join us, talk about big moves that have been made around the NBA in this free agency period. But right now, Adam, let's get to it.
A fast food customer defending her decision to call 911 after her McDonald's ran out of McNuggets.
You can't give a drunk man riding a horse a DWI because, unlike cars, horses don't have motors. They have a mind of their own.
Strange things began to happen.
A 24-year-old man accused of throwing an alligator through a drive-through window.
911, what is your emergency? It's too hard.
Stranger than fiction.
Well, it's summertime, Kevin. And that means for many families, it's time to go camping. Kevin, when's the last time you hit the road, went out into the forest, went camping?
First and last time, Boy Scouts. I was probably about 10 years old, slept in a tent on the ground, weird noises, pitch black. Woke up the next morning, went to the front of the campgrounds to take a shower, saw a giant black widow, and I was like, I must be funky today. No shower for me. That was the first and last time that I went camping.
Okay.
You're out.
Say you went camping, you woke up with a sore. Would you tell anyone? No, I'm just kidding. That old joke. I'm not big on the great outdoors either. Like, I like to use.
I used to drive the big Ford Explorer. Come on, man.
No,
go off-roading and doing all that stuff.
You knew about that?
Yeah.
I don't like to use the same restroom as a bear. Like, does a bear poop in the woods? Yes.
Checks out. Yeah.
A bear does poop in the woods. So why would I want to poop in the woods with them? Like, I'm scared. I like to go glamping or whatever they call it.
I'm with you. And a nice yurt.
Hey,
get some electricity going.
If there's a cabin and that's your level of camping or that's what you think camping is, I'm fine with that. I need
That's me.
doors. I need a real divider between me and the wild animals. I'm good.
Now, you do know the bears can open the doors, too. So there was a woman who woke up and heard some rustling downstairs. She came down to her cabin, and there's a bear in her fridge, just posted up, eating all sorts of sandwiches and everything else.
You can't leave the honey in there like that. Come
No.
on now. I've watched too many Grizzly Man documentaries, or watched that one in particular far
that
too many
one,
times.
yeah.
I've seen enough.
There was no sequel to that one, Adam.
So some of the obstacles that keep others from visiting the great outdoors include the hardships of, pitching a tent. And
yeah,
it can be very difficult and complicated. And something that's like doing Chinese algebra or something. Like, it is probably one of the most pathetic examples of a Guinness World Record, though, as I pulled this up earlier today. So we got two guys here that set the world record for fastest time to erect a 2-man tent.
Seriously?
They managed to beat the previous fastest time by like 3 seconds.
No, 3 whole seconds. Great.
They did it like a minute 30 or 2. This guy, Param Tana and Adam Greenstreet. They're, I think, a couple of Brits. Tana said, a lifetime of camping and scouting experience that really helped him prepare for the attempt to set the record. The men are now hoping to assemble a larger group of people so they can do it with a 4-man tent.
This is a different record, I'm assuming.
Of course it is. They're all very specific and obscure and stupid.
I'm a dumbass.
Then they can do an 8-man
Why does
tent.
Guinness keep doing this? Why?
Who's built the fastest log cabin? Who's built a teepee? Barracks? Like, this is the stupidest thing. And we had a guy, I think last time we did this, it was about a guy keeping 5 balloons in the air for the longest in human history.
Right.
Balloons with helium, keeping them all in the air, like juggling them.
Are this like a mantle you keep in your house?
Minute.
Something you brag about? See that? That's my Guinness World Record. For what? For standing on one leg.
We
Or 2 straight
might
hours or
have
whatever.
the Guinness World Record for talking about the dumbest
Yeah.
Guinness World Records on Fox Sports Radio late night on a Friday.
That's a record I'd want, actually. I'll sign me up for that one.
Like,
Can they sign me up for getting a Guinness World Record for shaming people for chasing Guinness World Records? I'm on it.
Unless you're working at REI or Camping World, I don't think anyone cares about
30.
You can put that tent together. I don't.
No.
In
No.
general, like, do people give away as a stocking gift a Guinness Book of World Record book anymore? Do people look through it and go, "Oh, this person did that"? Who cares?
Does the physical book even exist? I don't know. You have to download the PDF at this point?
I just know a lot of people that wanted to make a joke about how they could
10
the tent faster looking at Sydney Sweeney or something like
Oh,
that.
boy. Well, yeah.
5 seconds.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. Mark Medina going to join us next here of FnA on FSR.
Did you know we're on YouTube? Fox Sports Radio. You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live. That's so good. Cavino and Rich. Oh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube. Wow. By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. Jason Smith and Mike Harmon are dropping knowledge like this.
These guys are sick, man.
The United States is able to move on. 2-0 is your final. They play Monday in Seattle against Belgium. It will be without Flo Balogun. Again, there's no appeal. There's no high court. It's not like Pelican Brief or where in the TV show and Law and Order where they can show up at the judge's house at like midnight and he shows up in a robe and they go, "Will you sign this right now? We need to go get it. Do you have the evidence? I'm taking a big risk with my career. I'm signing this for you. Oh, we're going to go do it."
Or baseball or the NFL, where they suspend you for 6 games, knowing that as soon as you sign a piece of paper, it'll be reduced to 4 or cut in half.
That is not happening. But the flip side of this right now, because we talked about Balogun and it's just ridiculous, and everybody, we're all foaming at the mouth. But one thing from this that I absolutely love, and this is when we talked about it. I talked about it last night. Bosnia doesn't deserve to be on the same field as us, right? I get everybody was nervous. This is the 60th best team in the world. We are going to dominate this game. I said 3-0 at halftime. Could have been. It was 1-0. I'll take the L. But this is a game we dominated top to bottom. And what I saw after Balogun goes out, a different team, A different U.S. team, a different team entirely, would be completely on their heels, would their heads would be spinning on axles on a swivel, and it would just be relentless pressure from Bosnia, and we would be lucky to escape. But what you saw this is how champions respond. We need a minute to gather ourselves because, okay, what do we do here? How do we change things up? What's going on?
To get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
And it is Jason Tatum and friends. What kind of pressure's on him right now in being him?
I think just the normal pressures that he's always had. And you know that even before they actually won, people were questioning whether or not he could win and all kinds of stuff. So that stuff never kind of goes away, and there's expectations. Even when he didn't win the finals MVP, if you want to just be honest, go look at the numbers. Who led in every statistical category? It was Jason Tatum, right? It was. Jaylen Brown won the award. And even with the team, the reason that people kind of wrote off the Celtics was because Jason Tatum was hurt.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Jason Smith. You ready? Mike Harmon. And that's it. We put the sports
Mark is good.
We're going to do our thing.
We've taken two of the best to disrupt the status quo.
That's not a bad idea.
Do you agree, Mike Harmon?
Oh, hell yeah. Good for them.
Did we mention their best friends?
Smith and I, we butt heads about a lot of things.
They both need help.
It's the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. And here's what you need to know.
At the World Cup, a classic in Miami, number one, Argentina, the defending tournament champs, survived in overtime over Cape Verde 3-2. Earlier, Egypt on penalty kicks 4-2 eliminated Australia. Colombia a 1-0 winner against Ghana. To Major League Baseball, the Cardinals were 17-1 winners at the Cubs, ending the Cubbies' 5-game winning streak. It was Colorado 15-3 over San Francisco. The Tampa Bay Rays won their 9th in a row, 3-1 at Houston. The Yankees won 5-2 against the Twins. Yanks end a 7-game losing streak. Cleveland's alone in first in the AL Central after beating the White Sox in 10 innings 4-3. Milwaukee won in 11 at Arizona 7-4. The Dodgers sent the Padres to a 7th straight loss 4-3. Teoscar Hernandez a grand slam in the 7th. Toronto shut out Seattle 2-0. Boston 5-2 over the Angels. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That's right, hour 2 of FNA on FSR. Thank you guys for joining us here on the 4th of July. Hope you guys are being safe wherever you may be celebrating. Talked a lot of NBA last hour. Coming up later this hour, we're getting to the World Cup. We talked about a couple of epic matches that took place on Friday. United States has a big matchup, obviously, with Belgium coming up on Monday. So we'll get into that coming up in the very next segment.
Phone's ringing, dude.
Thank you, Donnie.
Well, joining the show right now is a guy who's probably camped out a few NBA arenas looking for inside information, the rumors, the scuttlebutt, everything you need to be an NBA reporter. That would be our man, Mark Medina, at MarkG_Medina is where you find him on X with some of that explosive reports or reporting, like we're getting explosions in the sky right now, like the band. Mark, what's up? Thanks for coming back on FNA.
Adam, Kevin, happy early 4th. Now, I presume that you guys are wondering, should you make 4th of July plans or stay glued to your phone for NBA free agency, right? I can't speak for any other transactions, but for what it's worth, talked with Rich Paul today about LeBron, and he said, I don't think his decision happens anytime soon. I don't think it'll be the next few days, so you guys are safe to celebrate the 4th without worrying. Will you miss any news about LeBron?
But did he break out the whiteboard with you there? That's the big question there, Mark. Did he go down and explain every single solitary team and why LeBron may or may not sign with him? That's the important question.
That is an important question. He did not do the whiteboard because this was over the phone, and he had already established that on the podcast. But I think what was interesting is that even though he had the whiteboard and he's analyzing teams, he made it clear that LeBron's not handicapping certain teams, that are on the whiteboard. So he said, it's a blank slate, and LeBron's almost Teflon at this point in his career. Like, whatever move he makes, he's going to get criticism. Whatever move he makes, there's positives and negatives to it. So in a weird way, he feels refreshed and, at peace. But look, I mean, to be real here, this is unprecedented because he's going to be in his 24th season. He's going to see what his market value is when it used to always be the max, unless he was willing to take a discount like he was in Miami so they could build a roster around him. So a lot of new variables for him to weigh.
So after looking at the flow chart or the brainstorming session between Max Kellerman and Rich Paul, what do you think the most likely destination is for LeBron's next stop and maybe last?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's the familiar candidates, right, with Golden State and Cleveland, Miami. But when I've talked to rival, executives, scouts, they think it's more likely Golden State because here's why. I think we can eliminate the rebuilding lottery teams because LeBron wants to win. But unlike maybe some people would say earlier in his career, he doesn't want to join a team that's already tailor-made to win a championship, that's already in contention. So you wipe out the Knicks, you wipe out the Spurs, the Thunder, anyone that could have already made a case to win a championship without him. So that still involves a lot of teams, but I think it's going to – I could see it being Golden State. Here's why some people have said it. He has the familiarity, respect, obviously, with Steph, Curry, Draymond Green, but they're not considered, a shoo-in to make a run because, 2 of the last 4 years, they've been a play-in team. The other 2 years, they've lost in the second round. There's question marks about, can they still make a run because they have such an old roster, but, you can always catch lightning in a bottle. So that's part of it. The other part of it is that it's not as much of a family sacrifice because he's still close to LA, an hour's flight away in the Bay Area. And because this is an old roster, it's very likely that Steve Kerr is going to really trim down on number of shoot-arounds and practices. And so with that, when the Warriors are at home, there's a lot of a likelihood that LeBron will be in LA at home. But, this is really anyone's guess. But you try to be educated, and we'll see if we're right here.
Mark, before we pivot to other NBA news and transactions, just one more on LeBron, because I believe you covered him in the genesis of the LeBron era with the Lakers. How would you describe his tenure in LA? Success, failure, neutral? How would you sum up his tenure with the Lakers?
Yeah, I came here after the Anthony Davis trade, but certainly a lot of seasons of perspective. And I think it's one of those things where he clearly had success with the championship in 2020, West Finals 2023, ending the playoff worst stretch in franchise history for the Lakers, and obviously generating a lot of revenue for the franchise. But, I think when I talked with Robert Horry and other Laker luminaries, I think Robert Horry said it best, where his analysis was that he could have done more. I mean, the Laker fans, yeah, they can be greedy at times, but they're used to it, that it's not just about one championship, it's multiple championships. Now, LeBron's not always not completely blameless. Like, he played at a really good level, but he had his own injuries. He had his involvement with the front office, but I think the front office is also to blame here because, they made the moves that they made, and there were moves they didn't make. And clearly the Russell Westbrook trade didn't work. Both parties have a hand on it, but It's the Lakers organization that made a decision. And outside of Bronny James, which is, a huge concession because who knows if he would have been drafted otherwise. I think from LeBron's perspective, he felt that the Lakers weren't aggressive enough with making win-now moves. That every time there was a trade deadline or an off-season, that Rob Pelinka would talk about, hey, we really need to worry about the future and our draft picks. And now it's the other extreme. Like after LeBron and the Lakers turned the page, they went all in and gave Walker Kessler and gave up literally all their draft picks. So I'm not saying that's good either, but I think there was this feeling from LeBron and people around him that they're a little bit too cautious. But look, like, he's not blameless. And if I had to sum it up in 3 T's here, it was always a transactional relationship between both sides. There's occasional tension throughout this, but it was never toxic. So they're able to part ways on good terms, probably for the better for both sides. But it made it for this awkward dynamic where there wasn't this warmth that you usually have with NBA superstars, but there wasn't this closeness either that made it hard to say goodbye.
So there's no T in defense. I don't see a lot of defenders that Rob Pelinka has picked up to improve this roster and two-way guys. What do you make of the way they built this team? Yes, Walker Kessler is one, but what about perimeter defenders? Do you like the moves they've made so far in free agency?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, their work isn't done because they're trying to get more wings, but you do wonder where are the assets coming from because they really don't have anything. They recouped some of their draft capital with the DeAndre Ayton trade, but this free agency activity really reminds me of whack-a-mole. Like for every need that they address, they create new issues. So Walker Kessler, no doubt, it was a great signing. You have to give up a little more to get him because of restricted free agency, and the Jazz didn't want to give him up. So I get that, but to your point, they also got a lot of offensive-oriented players. So I don't understand why they didn't re-sign Marcus Smart. I get it. He's an older player. He has injury history, but relatively speaking, he was a lot better with his health and availability than he was in Washington and Memphis. And he was a pretty respected guy in the locker room because of his resume. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to be good with Quentin Grimes and Mamu Kalashvili. Those are 2 players that are really good secondary scorers. Colin Sexton is a great locker room guy. He plays at a fast pace. He's totally comfortable being a backup point guard. But to your point, they don't have any wing depth. And what they should have done is find a right number for Marcus Smart. They should have retained Rui Hachimura, and now they're having to look on the margins here with who's available. Jonathan Kuminga, he could be enticing, but I think Kuminga is going to look for more money because that's what he's always been about so far in his career. And he brings a lot of athleticism and upside, but not a great decision maker. And the DeAndre Ayton trade I get, but why didn't they keep Jackson Hayes then? Right? Like, you need to have a backup big. DeAndre Ayton was very inconsistent, and I understand that there's concerns on how he would handle a reduced role, but you're doing that without a backup big behind you. Now you have to find other bigs. And Kevon Looney, hey, great energy rebounder guy, but he's not a mobile big. And Jonas Valanciunas, he's a versatile big, but he's not fast. He can do everything on the floor offensively. But to your point, these guys aren't elite defenders. So, yeah, I'm very confused on this, and it's been a mixed bag so far.
Fox Sports Radio NBA insider Mark Medina joining us here on FnA on FSR. Are you confused by the Celtics-Sixers transaction that happened earlier this week? Jaylen Brown going to Philadelphia for what a lot of people are saying are pennies on the dollar. You have Paul George, who's in the twilight, seemingly, of his career, a couple of number 1 picks and a couple of number 2 picks. For a Boston Celtics team that obviously has designs of competing for a championship. And it seems as if, at least to me, Mark, they've taken a large step back by getting rid of Jaylen Brown and now replacing him with at least a comparable package of players that can keep them at that level.
Yeah, without a doubt. Look, like the Boston Celtics trade is so bad, it makes you almost forget about how questionable the Lakers trades have been. There's no justification for what the Celtics did. Yeah, they got some free agent deals with Mike Conley, Mitchell Robinson. I mean, Mike Conley, it would have been more valuable if it was 5 years ago, even though he's a great locker room guy. I just don't know how many minutes he can give them. Mitchell Robinson, great big, but the bigger thing is they gave up Jaylen Brown, and they got Paul George, and those two players are not equal at all, even if the Celtics got some draft picks in return. Jaylen Brown was either fifth or sixth best in the NBA last season. He was an MVP candidate, had career highs across the board. Now, the things that you're hearing on why they would do it. Oh, he talked about, his career year on Twitch stream and how this was his favorite season even more than the championship. And, there's subtle shots at Jason Tatum or, oh, the cat's out of the bag because we made him available in Giannis Antetokounmpo trade talks. Now we can't recover from this. Those are all hogwash explanations, as well as this idea that Jaylen Brown could produce any kind of toxic environment because he's outspoken about things. I mean, look, he's never broken the law, not even close to that. And even if there's been times that he and Jason Tatum are trying to figure out their roles on the court together, like that was an early career adjustment. Ever since the championship, they've been fine. And so I think in Jaylen Brown's defense, when he was going on Twitch stream and talking about how this was his favorite year, I think it's in the context of this was considered a gap year. They weren't expected to make the playoffs because Jason Tatum was expected not to play at all from his Achilles injury. They made those cost-cutting moves to get below the second apron with trading Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, but they got the number 2 seed. Jaylen Brown had a career year. He was an MVP consideration. And their supporting cast really took their game to another level. So I think it was more of kind of taking pride in being this underdog that overachieved, and also what it means for next season. Yes, I get the timing's not great. First round exit to Philadelphia after being up 3-1, but I think that's really where it came from. And the feeling was, okay, this is a good building off point now that there's a lot of depth that's been developed. He can carry that production and a healthier Jason Tatum. And so it doesn't make any sense. Paul George, I mean, this would have been great when he was from the Indiana Pacers, when he was one of the best two-way players in the league. He's not that anymore. He's very injury prone. He's a guy that can be an all-star caliber player like he was in the first round against Boston, but there's a lot of times he disappears because of injuries or a 25-game suspension because of the PED or just being inconsistent. And the thing that's ironic here, guys, maybe the Celtics are worrying about Jaylen Brown wanting to be the number one guy and Jason Tatum, same thing. Paul George will gladly cede that role to Jason Tatum. But you know what? Part of it has to do with he wants to shield the accountability and responsibility. Adam, you know this. Remember when he was with the Clippers and he was demoting himself at the pecking order and saying, this is Kawhi's team. And it was relayed to Ty Lue. It didn't sit well with him. He's like, I want Paul George to think he's the guy. Like, he wants him to be aggressive. So you add all this stuff up, and this trade doesn't make any sense at all. I'm not going to say the Celtics are going to be a lottery team, but they're going to be a fringe playoff team that, is at best second round, likely first round, maybe even playing. And if they didn't do this and they brought back Jaylen Brown and overcame some of the difficulties of his name being in trade talks and figuring out the roles once again now that Tatum is back fully healthy, they would have been back in the contending mix. So very, very surprising to say the least.
Some have called Paul George a role player in a superstar player's body, but I would never. Mark Medina is our guest here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio as we are live currently in the late night hour. Happy 4th of July to everyone. Mark, what do you make of the analytics part of this and how much, there's almost been a referendum on analytics and former players coming out like David West on X, and it's been at the forefront of the conversation regarding Jaylen Brown. Do you think front offices lean into it too much? Do you think some of the blowback against analytics is taking things too far? I mean, I was saying earlier, some of this could be about his contract. They don't want to have to pay him $70 million. Is there more to what's going on with Jaylen Brown here in the analytics department that, leads to a larger conversation about the NBA as a whole?
Yeah, I think that's a very fair question to ask. I think the broader question, though, is the contract. And I think that's the larger factor. But with the analytics, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are saying that Jaylen Brown doesn't impact winning. I mean, I get it that he's a high isolation player, but he's improved as a playmaker. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA. And all you have to do is look at last season. They had a lot of wins because of Jaylen Brown. So I don't get the analytic part. The second part about the contract, I think that's the bigger challenge of because of second apron concerns, as well as, frankly, new ownership groups that are coming from private equity backgrounds. They're not used to this kind of money. And I get it. It's skyrocketed because of these new TV rights deals. But, you know, the money is the money because these players drive a lot of revenue and they produce a lot of wins. And, you know, when you have a franchise guy, that really sets the tone for the organization. So, you know, I think what's fascinating here is that could have and likely played a factor with negotiations, that teams may have been scared off of him because of the contract size, and teams were already committed to one or two guys that already had those kind of contracts. But doesn't justify the Celtics doing that because they already made those cost-cutting moves last summer with Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Jason Tatum's the only other player, rightfully so, that has that mega contract. So I'm sure it is a factor again for other teams. And then maybe just human nature, them wondering, okay, if they're willing to trade Jaylen Brown, something has to be going on behind the scenes. But I think the bigger thing is the contract. But again, the Celtics, just because they didn't find other bidders, didn't have to settle for a Paul George package, right? Like, they could have easily absorbed that contract again because they made those cost-cutting moves last summer.
Last one for me, Mark. You know, I saw earlier this week Norman Powell signing a $45 million contract with the Bulls. And, you know, usually a guy like that would sign a deal with a contender, maybe for a little bit less. But he ends up getting probably as much as he probably could here on this open market. There's a theory out there, along with the absorbing of Nick Claxton's salary, which they did earlier, too, in the offseason, that these are kind of the first dominoes to fall in this new lottery era. You know, you have teams that aren't good enough to compete for the playoffs, but they also want to make sure they're competitive enough to stay out of the relegation zone. Do you think that that's what's potentially going on here in this situation? And if so, just in a macro sense, how do you think that's going to affect the league moving forward if you have capable veterans who could help contenders instead take paydays to put up numbers on bad to mediocre teams?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And specifically with Norman Powell, you know, I was told from, you know, people around his camp that, you know, as soon as Miami Heat got Giannis Antetokounmpo, it was clear the messaging that, look, they're hard capped. They can't really do anything to give a significant pay raise, even though they liked Norman Powell. He had an all-star caliber year. He's a great team guy, great scorer, great defender. But Norman Powell is looking for some security. And I think what resonated with him with the Bulls beyond the money is, you know, they're trying to start over new. They have kind of a blank slate right now with a new president, new coach. And, you know, with the Bulls, they're looking at him as he's not a star player, but he can be a part of a winning culture because he has those credentials of being a role player, being an all-star. He's a two-way guy, so he can really help some of their young players. But from a big picture lens that you're talking about, this is one of the casualties with these spending restrictions in second apron that, you know, rightfully so, teams are going to always invest in their star player. But the casualties that we've seen is that second or third star player, they're going to start making cost-cutting moves with that player. And then the other thing is, unless they can find these role players on a discount deal, they're not going to keep them. And the thing about role players is, yes, like you're a role player because you're not as talented as a superstar player, but some of the value in role players come from experience and just really being a specialist in your niche and being a good veteran that, you know, has a lot of good, you know, influence in the locker room. And so it's really hard to get young guys as role players because they're not developed into that. And a lot of young guys don't want to handicap themselves that this is their lane because they think they can become a star because they've usually seen through, you know, their whole life when they bet on themselves, good things happen. So it is a huge challenge they have to face. And I think that is one of many reasons why the NBA and the Players Union need to revisit this. But to be clear, the union agree to this,
Breaking down.
they were okay with it. But a lot of times the union during these negotiations, they're always choosing the best of bad options. And they're also very sensitive to the fact that any work stoppage, not only, does that affect players, getting paid, but players have a finite career and they can only absorb a partial lost season or a full season for only so long, because the average, span for an every NBA player is only 4 to 5 years.
Oh, I can tell you this. This guy's no role player. He's a supermax superstar. It is Mark Medina at @MarkG_Medina. He's our insider and reporter on the NBA here on Fox Sports Radio. Mark, thanks for joining us again here on FnA on FSR.
Adam, Kevin, appreciate you guys. Happy 4th. And again, go all out with your celebrations. You don't have to worry about any LeBron James news on the 4th.
Woo!
Perfect.
There's the breaking news. Let's go.
Nah, no emergency podcast necessary. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a great holiday.
All right, you too.
LeBron's not going to one-up America's 250th birthday?
I mean, if somebody were going to do it, I'm just saying.
Didn't KD do it on the 4th of July when he went to Golden State? Was that the 4th of July?
Yeah.
I feel like it
I believe
was.
so.
Yeah, he was fine with that.
Didn't Dwight Howard leave the Lakers and go to Houston? Wasn't that on the 4th of July? I could be wrong, but
who can be sure? It was just Dwight,
You're out. That was a big deal at the time.
It was. Coming up, we're kind of a big deal right now in soccer, believe it or not.
That's right.
We moved on to the group of 16. We're still in the knockout stage, and we owe Belgium one for what they've done to us over the years. That's coming up on Monday. We'll preview the match for you. Yeah, I said match. This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
So how are you going to celebrate America's 250th birthday?
1, 2, 3,
Are you going to do this? What about this? You better do this. Listen to us.
The answer is a yes.
Celebrate your 4th of July weekend right here on Fox Sports Radio. Boom.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
NASCAR race day. Driver gets trophy, right? But who's swapping 4 tires in 9 seconds? Who's hauling the car? A lot of those people are veterans and military family members. They're the unsung heroes. It's a brand new campaign from Vet the Vote, honoring the veterans and military family members behind the scenes. America's 250 this year, so $25, $1 for every decade, helps reach the rest. From the pit road to the polling station, vetThe.vote/NASCAR. Do it.
Did you know we're on YouTube? Fox Sports Radio. You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live.
It's so good.
Cavino and Rich. Oh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
Wow.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
One guy sees the whole board.
I keeps it real, son. But here's where I got smoke with you, sir.
The other guy sees what he wants.
Kelvin, you're so full of it.
I know they won the game, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give it to you real.
They couldn't be further apart.
Well, let me say it this way.
Stop it.
And that's why this works. It's The Odd Couple.
Book it.
With Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
You know you make me wanna. Keep screaming.
Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
I like the morning show.
They're really funny in the morning.
This is the show that has two pros and a cup of Joe.
Who is Joe?
LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox.
The Malik Beasley story is just tremendous. Not a great look for the NBA. I think if anybody who's a conspiracy theorist, this probably gives them a little bit to run on. So the Malik Beasley, he's been indicted on federal charges for gambling related to a sports betting scheme that involved point shaving and prop bets.
The worst one that I believe was on the indictment was his prop bet of over 3.5 rebounds. And this one was interesting because as you go through the course of the game and the different clips that were put out there, you do see something that looks like a player who's very eager to try to get that fourth rebound. And it was pretty elusive for him. I mean, even at times almost boxing out his own player to make sure he got it.
How long has there been people getting caught gambling?
Getting caught or doing it?
Getting caught. Does it go beyond before Pete Rose? Like, how far back does getting
the Black
caught?
Sox, the Black Sox scandal.
Why do you look at me like that when you said Black Sox like that? I don't know, because you put a lot of emphasis on black before you said Sox, and then you turned and looked at me like real quickly, like I was
radio. I don't see color.
Like I was going to react to you saying it. That like, oh yeah. At what point do we start to say these people need psychiatric evaluations?
Oh, come on.
You have got to be one of the most disconnected.
To get the rest of LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox. Podcast by searching Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Listen to Two Pros and a Cup of Joe weekdays from 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's Colin Cowherd. Outspoken.
I know it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to talk about it.
It's the Herd.
This is
The Herd.
That's what this is.
Man of the people.
People don't want Socrates or Aristotle. They want a guy.
Oh, did I mention outspoken?
I'm sorry, guys, but unpopular opinion. Rivalries are overrated.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Listen every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Wow.
Right here on Fox Sports Radio. When you listen to us, you'll hear things you won't hear anywhere else.
Listen, we say a lot of outrageous things over the course of the 24-hour period.
You can agree or disagree with what you hear.
Not all dynasties in sports are fascinating.
This might be the worst take you've ever had.
You know you can trust what we say. Fox Sports Radio.
All right, let's play it out because what you're saying is ridiculous. Go ahead.
Hold up. Yo, man, I don't think they heard you.
That's the thing about us. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Listen.
FS1. Follow your favorite teams and more. FS1, where live sports happen. To find FS1 on your television, download the Fox One app for details.
This is the game that people are going to talk about for years to come.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
That's right. It is FnA on FSR. Kevin Figures, Adam Alston, broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studios. Happy Independence Day, everybody. You know, with the iHeart app, you can stream us wherever you are. Catch us and all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeart app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day, every day. And be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app so it always pops up at the top of your screen. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio in the iHeart app.
Team USA taking on Belgium on Monday. Took care of business in the round of 32 knockout round against Bosnia, winning 2-0 on Wednesday.
More than took care of business, Adam. They had to fight the officials. They had to fight everything. It was incredible.
Can we talk about that red card for a little bit here? Because
Tim Donaghy's on the phone for you.
Biggest pieces of you-know-what I've ever seen in any sort of competition.
it is one thing to me to make that call and to kick him out of the last 30 minutes of that game where Team USA had to face all that adversity and overcame it. And in the end, it could help them. It's another to not have a system where then you could retract it later on.
That makes no sense. In 2026, really?
What
we
year
can't review
is it?
these things?
I'm
Yeah.
freaking Robin Williams and Jumanji. What year is this? What is happening
But
here?
even on replay review, Adam, the fact that you can go and look at the video replay and how you can justify giving him a red card for that, it was incidental.
It was incidental.
Don't
and
even
I've
look
seen-
at it in slow motion. Look at it in real time. He was clearly trying to make a play for the ball. Like how if you want to give him a yellow card because of the end result, I'd probably haggle with you on that, but I give you that one. But a red card is completely unjustifiable.
I thought Messi had one that wasn't quite as egregious because the ankle turn, but he was at least looking at the opponent more than Balogun was here, where you could tell he had no idea. And he wasn't trying to spike him with his cleats or anything like that. Messi had a worse one in their opening game with Argentina. It wasn't even a yellow.
I mean, there has to be a sliding scale. Like the NBA has flagrant ones and flagrant twos. You remember Zinedine Zidane, the guy who played for France, and they had the 2006 World Cup, and he headbutted a guy in the chest.
That did happen. The guy still sold it though, damn it. All right.
I mean, yeah, but I mean that's a big dome with a lot of force behind. There's a statue of that, by the way. I didn't know that.
Is there really?
There was a statue that was erected, I think, in Paris, and then it got sold. I think it's now in Qatar somewhere. But there's actually a statue of Zinedine Zidane headbutting that dude in the chest back in 2006. So you're telling me that rises to the level of a red card to the exact same degree as what Balogun did? There's absolutely no. That's completely different situations.
Yeah. Now, granted, I'm a soccer novice, and there were some people that were justifying it that watch soccer more, but I just don't know how you can look at that. Somebody said in the chat, you need an orange card, something in between a yellow and a red here. Why not? But you have to be able to at least let cooler heads prevail, let more than just one guy determine whether or not he's going to be missing the next match, because it's one official who reviews it in the moment,
right?
And he could have he could misinterpret things. But if you have a collective, a group, a council, something like that to look at this and then come to a more logical decision here, I mean, that was bizarre. Honestly, I can't believe they don't have a system built in.
Well, one thing I'll say about Flo Balogun, he was a great sport about it. He talked about it on Friday. He says, like, I want to be a good example to the kids. So, yes, I feel badly, but I wanted to make sure I went back on the pitch. I shook hands with the opponent. I made sure to shake hands with every single official. And I want to make sure that even if you felt like you were done wrong, I want to make sure I do the right thing. That's the kind of message you want to send on Independence Day right there. His birthday, by the way, he just turned 25 years old. That's a lot of wisdom from a 25-year-old young man right there.
Who's mostly American, all right?
Well, his story is certainly interesting, to say the least.
He's playing for us, and he'll
He is.
continue to play for us because, damn it, that goal he had in that game, that match as well, that's unlike anything that we've been able to see with Team USA Soccer over the years. That was
And
special.
also, he had a goal taken away where he was ruled offsides. Which I don't know how egregious it was, but I was okay with it. I understood it.
A lot of offsides.
There's been a lot of offsides calls in this tournament. Yes.
That being reviewed, yes, I understand it, but still, it seems to happen more frequently than you would like. You get all excited, and then it's taken away.
I will say in the past with our Team USA teams, not necessarily that they would fold. I mean, I go back to 2014, and we played Belgium, I believe it was, in the first game of the group stage. And Josie Altidore went down with a cramp in like the 15th minute. It was early in the match, and they found a way to come back and win despite losing one of their best players. But generally speaking, you're down a player, you're up 1-0 at that juncture of the game, and so much pressure is being put on the net. You know, it will be easy to see a Team USA team in the past fold in that situation, and they actually stepped up to the challenge. And not only did they do that, but they scored a goal being down a man.
Well,
that was impressive.
And now we get Belgium again, and they did knock us out in 2014. I think we got them in the knockout maybe as well.
Yeah.
But they beat the hell out of us in March 5-2. More recently, they took us out. And we owe them. And they had to come back down 2-0 against Senegal. So
They did.
So they have
And
momentum too. It's not just about us.
Enough, even without Balaquin in the lineup, United States is actually a small favorite in this matchup, which is very interesting.
Okay.
So
maybe it's the momentum, the home field advantage.
It could be the home field probably has a little amount. It probably tells you that they're fairly evenly matched in the eyes of the odds makers, and the fact that it's being played here, you give a nod to the United States. But this is another situation where now, as the favorite, we are expected to win. So I feel like we're going to ask this question the deeper and deeper we get into the tournament. You know, if they lose this game, what is your level of disappointment? Will you be like, you know what? They won a knockout stage game. They did it under interesting circumstances with the red card down to 10 men and found a way to be able to win. I'm okay with that. Or are you like Victor Brick and he would say, are you going for blood?
Blood the birds.
Yeah.
I would say it's a failure. I would.
You're a huge embarrassing failure.
I need them to get
Pass
to the
around the 16.
semifinals or at least the quarterfinals to
Well,
get
the quarters.
down to 8.
Because you know who's staring at them if they in the quarterfinals if they happen to beat Belgium.
Who do we get now? Spain?
Yeah.
Ooh,
have fun with that.
That's problematic.
Spain, who's blowing the doors off of everybody.
I want to see this team challenge, though. I want to see us beat Belgium and really find out the level that we're at. I'm fine with it. Bring on Spain. But yes, beat Belgium or else. Like, I'm not going to say, I'm sorry, this is the standard. Get to the group of 8 or get to the 8 remaining teams like they did in 2002. And I will feel like we have taken this thing as far as at least we should. Anything after that is just bonus.
So they don't get a natural out with Balakin being out. You're not giving them that excuse.
I feel like they're good enough with what we've seen so far.
Yeah. And again, the odds makers feel the exact same way. And I tend to agree. So failure is strong for me. It will be a disappointment if they were to lose to Belgium, but I don't know if I go as far as to necessarily call it a failure.
Let me know that the match plays out. If they lost 3-0.
Yeah, there's how it plays out does matter. Absolutely. Yeah.
There could be other guys that get kicked out of games, apparently. We never know who's getting the next red card with this system.
You really don't. I will say, too, if they advance to the quarterfinal and end up playing most likely Spain, if they lose 5-0, probably not going to be that disappointed, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to keep it real.
5-0?
The Bums lost.
I'm like, well.
If Spain goes on to win it all, I'll feel okay about that. I'll put it like that.
Because then if they found a way to beat Spain, you know who's next up? You know who's on their side of the bracket?
Argentina?
Mbappe, France.
Oh, okay.
They would play France in the semifinal.
Yeah, I haven't looked that far ahead. It's about Belgium.
You know, you probably shouldn't.
Belgium put up 5 goals on us back in March. So before we worry about Spain, I don't know.
That was a friendly, that doesn't count.
Didn't feel friendly.
Was that to kick our ass pretty bad?
Friendly at all.
I do love
ass whooping.
One thing I do love about like the announcers, by the way, have you seen like the ratings? And we're not big ratings guys in general, but I mean like the TV ratings have been like through the roof.
Sure,
so for the Bosnia game specifically, 30 million viewers if you combine Fox and Telemundo. That ratings number rivals NFL playoff games and beat the State of the Union last year. That's how big that number is.
It has felt magical. And I know we just adopted the country road.
Yeah.
It feels right. It's working. Everybody's singing at the end.
Point for sure.
Bosnia came over and is clapping for us. Good sportsmanship all around. This has been a tremendous event.
And Pochettino, who's Argentinian himself, loves American country music and encouraged a bunch of country music stars to come out and support the team.
It's wild.
That's cool. I think it's great.
I'm all in, but we need to beat Belgium. For me to feel like fulfilled by this World Cup that we're hosting, we need to beat Belgium. They beat us before in 2014 with Klinsmann at the helm as your coach, as your manager then. I feel like we owe them one. We owe them a little bit of some sweet revenge now here in the States.
Even though there might be one player left on Belgium and 0 left for the United States from that roster. There might be one. I'm not 100% sure.
Probably not. I
don't think there's anybody left from that cycle.
All we need is the good Christian Pulisic. Even without Balogun, I think they're going to win this match as well. I do. And where's this one taking place? Seattle?
I believe it's back in Seattle.
Going back there. San Francisco. They've been traveling back and forth. Can we get back to LA at some point in SoFi?
So LA, if they were to play Spain, I believe that game in the quarterfinal would be at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles.
Okay, Producer might confirm that as well. We double sourced it there. We're on top of things.
So are you going? I mean, you're the big World Cup expert now. You're going to games and blazing trails and traveling the country.
Did I mention those tickets were free though when I went? Like,
okay. Sorry.
There was a difference.
I thought you was gonna hook us up. I thought you were at the hookup. You want to let us get in the SoFi to see United States take on
Lucky
Spain?
to get into a bar with how crazy these events have been. Honestly, my God, I was watching Mexico the other night at some like traditional barbecue place, and it was slammed.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Mexico won a round of 32 game the other night, and you would have thought I thought it was the 4th of July. Like, can you imagine if they win the World Cup? My goodness.
It has lived up to its billing so far.
Yes,
but for us individually to, as Americans, beat Belgium on Monday, it is a requirement in my book.
I believe that we will win.
All right. We will win. Coming up next, back to the NBA, because things are changing in Summer League that may have an effect as they're testing things out at the National Basketball Association at some point. Should it? We'll tell you next. He's Kevin Figures. I'm Adam Moslem. This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Got the family coming over? Some friends bringing friends. Stand back while I celebrate freedom. The cooler stuff to perfection. And your grill is prime. This day is yours.
Thanks for the invite.
Happy Independence Day. From Fox Sports Radio. Did you know we're on YouTube? Fox Sports Radio. You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live.
It's so good.
Covino and Rich. Oh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
Wow.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away.
There are some shows you don't want to miss.
This is going to be fun.
And there are some shows you can't miss.
Let's not overreact.
This is Covino and Rich.
In sports, when a call is made and you have a chance to make it right, I don't think there's anything more frustrating than when they don't. Like in baseball, when they go to New York and you're like, oh, they clearly will be overturned, and it's not. Or they go to the booth in the NFL and you're like, wait, we saw his foot in bounds. Like, when they can't get it right, I feel like us as fans need further explanation. Like, I don't think you could just chalk it up to, as Sam said, the ref got maybe not the best look, red card. This determines a World Cup game in something that happens every 4 years. And this is apparently Team USA, one of their better players, right?
Yeah, very, very sticky situation, Rich. And now you're down a guy, an important piece of the puzzle moving forward. So it's just like any other sport, though. I think because the stakes are so high and everybody's tuning in, we're thinking they could change it or something. And that's not what's going to happen here. They've already said that. Like, it is what it is. They're not like, oh, you know what? We're sorry, guys. Upon further review, they've already denied that option.
I'm not saying a pride thing, but
there's no appeal.
The idea of
the no appeal part is awful.
When you're in a marriage, a relationship, a business partnership, anything in life, if you make a mistake and it's very clear and it could be changed, you would change it, right?
Yeah, but they're not rolling with that. Like, we're being like sad.
Hey, this is Cheech and this is Chung, and you're listening to Covino and Rich. So listen up.
To get the rest of what Covino and Rich said, podcast it by searching Covino and Rich. And as always, you can hear Covino and Rich weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
I check. Walker Kessler, a legitimate defensive big, which you better have now in the West with Wemby and OKC's front line and Jokic, a legitimate defensive big. They got DeAndre Ayton. He'll give you 10 or 12 points. That's fine. Lakers got a big. This is what I've been preaching now since the new Dodger owners came in. It's not about clinging to the past. It's about spending money and looking through the windshield, not the rear view mirror. The new Laker ownership never had any intention to sign LeBron James. They had to keep it quiet, but it's a J.J. Redick, Luka Doncic organization with a massive brand and a good complimentary score in Austin Reeves.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. This is Two Pros and a Cup of Joe.
Yeah, baby.
LeBron James, no longer a member of the Lakers. He will continue. He will pursue his NBA career, and you got to be clear on the messaging here. He informed the team that he will be pursuing his NBA career elsewhere.
How's he going to be remembered as a Laker? It's kind of like, all right, kind of understood why he was coming here. Now he's gone. Moving on with the next guy.
He chose the road of mercenary. He wanted rings. And I think that became a part of the legacy of his career. None of this matters if he's not the superior ball player that he is, right? Like Robert Horry, nobody's looking at him like he's a mercenary, but most of his rings are from different organizations.
Two Pros, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and a Cup of Joe. Jonas Knox, 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. We got what you want.
Your ears are perfect for this.
We got what they want.
Because there's nobody else like them.
We got the goods.
This is no longer a theory. It's a hypothesis. Like we've had it tested multiple times.
Good.
All day,
Go look at the numbers.
Bringing it to the entire nation.
all night.
Every damn night.
We got that good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Man, let's ride.
We are Fox Sports Radio. FS1. Lock in live sports and live shows on your TV. FS1.
Right now.
Find FS1 on your television or visit foxsports.com for details.
If it amazes you, then you don't know anything about basketball.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
It is FNA on FSR. Welcome back to the Fox Sports Radio studios for the best pregame show every weekend. Be sure to tune in to Fox Sports Radio's Countdown presented by BetMGM every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern at 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. We will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown presented by BetMGM every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
Coming up next hour, we will encapsulate LeBron's tenure in Los Angeles with the Lakers. We asked Mark Medina about it. It was about a half hour ago. We'll give our opinions on how successful his stint was with the Lakers. And by stint, I mean 8 years. So, yeah, kind of something that needs to be, I don't know, dealt with by us in particular, living in Southern California. We have thoughts on that. We got thoughts on this. The NBA is back already. Summer League's underway. California Classic happened tonight. Warriors and Lakers. Wasn't much of one, as we expressed earlier, where the Golden State Warriors, I think, won by 35. But there's some new rules being implemented that were already in the G League that they're trying now in the Summer League. And then it could make its way all the way up to the National Basketball Association. But I don't know if that should happen here, Kevin.
For one of them, for sure. I hope not. So I'll start there. So that's where this free throw situation comes in. So there's a one free throw rule they've been using. So the way it will work is you will award one free throw for any foul that would typically result in 1, 2, or 3 free throws under your standard NBA rules. So that free throw attempt will be worth the same total number of points as the free throw it replaces. So if Steph Curry pulls up from 3 and somebody tackles him and he goes to the free throw line, he makes one free throw, the team gets 3 points.
Yeah.
And they do this. They're apparently trying to do this for the sake of efficiency and speeding up the basketball game.
This is their pitch clock.
I've never thought of like free throws slowing down a basketball game. If anything, it's replay reviews more than anything else.
Look, sometimes games have an excessive number of fouls, and you never know how the officials are going to call it. Are they going to let them play more tonight? Are they going to call things really tight? And that can be frustrating for the players. But I kind of like, especially late in games, the pressure of guys having to be at the line for multiple free throws.
Well, I will say this, Adam, that part is protected. In the final 2 minutes of a half or the fourth quarter, they will go back to standard rules when it comes to that. This would only apply to outside of crunch time.
2 minutes? What about 5 minutes? That's what clutch time is actually statistically looked as. The last 5 minutes of a game within 5 points. It's
doesn't need
too
to be
much
done.
change for me.
It just doesn't need to be done at all. I don't think it's necessary. Whether there's a lot of fouls called or not, I feel like your general NBA game, they usually are around the same amount of time. There is a clock, unlike Major League Baseball, where some games can be an hour and 55 minutes and some could be 4 hours, depending on how many walks and pitchers and pitching changes and all that. There is more of a necessity for that. I don't get the clamoring from a lot of people that, man, these NBA games sure do take a long time. I don't see that being an issue.
If there was more hack-a-shack going on and every team had a guy like that or Mitchell Robinson in today's game, then I could see the need for it. That's not the case currently. No. In fact, more guys can shoot now than ever.
Right.
If you look at free throw percentage over the years, it has traditionally gone up. If you go by decades, guys have become better shooters. So that's not a concern too. Now, is it the end of the world if they do it in the Summer League and do it in the G League, which I didn't even realize? No.
We'll try it out. Sure.
Go for it. That's where you experiment.
This one, Adam, I do like. So a connected basketball, it has an embedded sensor inside of it. And the league says the ball can provide data that will be collected to support future officiating applications like who touched the ball last going out of bounds.
Okay.
Things like that. That doesn't bother me. That's great.
Yeah, they've had the Sport VU cameras up there for years that are already doing player tracking data stuff so we can see some of the matchup data. Why not take it a step further? If that speeds things up to the extent that we've seen in Major League Baseball with the automated balls and strikes where the reviews are so snappy and so quick and it's reliable and you know it is, just like it has been in tennis for so long, I'm all for it.
And more importantly for me, the fact that they get the call right. The game is moving so fast. Who touched the ball last out of bounds a lot of times can be a point of contention. If there's technology out there that can aid the officials in determining last and who didn't, anytime we can help the officials get calls right, I'm all for it. I mean, if we had robot officials that can be 100% correct on their calls, I'd do it.
Send in the robots.
Yeah.
Send out Scott Foster and the rest.
Tim Donaghy's on the phone for you.
Okay.
You did hit the anniversary of Terminator 2. I think it was released on July 3rd. 30 years ago? Something like that?
T-1000?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring in Robert Patrick, that badass. Like use a hologram form of him when they're doing some of these 30. I'm fine with that. I don't know. Use technology when it can be perfected and is as flawless as we have seen it being used in other sports makes all the sense in the world to me.
Yeah, still waiting for those robo umpires to make their way into Major League Baseball. It's going to happen eventually.
Baby steps. They're getting there, Kevin.
Yeah, they'll get there eventually. Coming up next here, FnA on
10.
We will talk about LeBron James, his legacy with the Los Angeles Lakers.
5 seconds.
Successful or was it a dud? We'll talk about that coming up next. FnA on FSR.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Let's begin.
Sometimes we like company. Other times, company is downright annoying. Let's listen to Stu Gatz and Company live. And you tell us where this show lies.
The true mark of a great shooter is a short memory. Everybody knows it. J.R. Smith proved that. Short memory as a shooter.
Yep.
Close your eyes.
Okay, we have to close our eyes.
Yep.
All right.
This is close your eyes test part 2.
Okay. Shooters must be bad test takers. Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Put it on the poll. Are you closing your eyes as well here, or what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to set this up for you guys.
All right, I'll close my eyes.
This is close your eyes test part 2.
Okay.
Imagine it's January, the middle of a long home stretch, and LeBron James is waking up in San Antonio. I can't see it.
Hold on. What month?
January.
January. Yeah, I can't see it either. I
No.
can't. Yes. January, waking up in San Antonio when he doesn't have to wake up in San Antonio.
Yeah.
He can wake up anywhere. I mean,
I also, if you want to close your eyes and imagine him looking to Wemby for leadership. Like, I don't think he wants to hear a word that Victor Wembanyama has to say.
or Wemby looking to him for leadership.
Right.
or any sort of advice on how to do this. He's like, hey, I got it, and I'm 7'5".
Yeah, and I even think the teasing with Cleveland, right, because he's over there running through the neighborhood, I feel like that is just gamesmanship from him.
Yes.
I think it's keeping the people from Cleveland happy and hopeful, but I don't think he's going there.
You know, as I get older, when I close my eyes, even for 5 seconds, when I open them up, I'm dizzy.
Get that checked out, I think.
You don't move around, you just close your eyes, open your eyes, and you're dizzy.
I mean, I'm still dizzy. I'm shaking it off right now. Go ahead, Mikey.
To hear more from Stu Gatz and Company live, just podcast it by searching Stu Gatz and Company. And as always, you can listen live weekdays 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, Steve Covino.
Oh, boy.
Rich Davis. This is Covino and Rich.
Jaylen Brown to the Sixers. They just skipped New York, Danny G. If you live on the East Coast, right? Boston, New York, Philly, right in a row. And now Jaylen Brown takes his talents to Philadelphia. And some are saying it makes the 76ers a different team and puts them over the hump.
They went from potentially getting Giannis to getting Paul George.
That's the thing. That's like wanting a Transformer for Christmas and you got the GoBot. It's not what they wanted is the point. It's not Giannis. So I'm not talking smack. Paul George is a great dude and he's a great player and all that. But he's not what they wanted. So there's a feeling of, man, what was going on? And the truth is that the Celtics were just looking to get whatever they could for Jaylen Brown, who clearly wanted out.
Covino and Rich, weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Hello there.
Two pros and a cup of Joe, putting the more in mornings.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Jonas Knox,
How you doing? I'm Jonas from Champion Roofers. I'm here to check out your leak.
Brady Quinn, LeVar Arrington.
Now that's a teammate right there.
Can you think of a better combination?
I can think whatever I want.
That's what I thought. It's two pros and a cup of Joe. Weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. And here's what you need to know.
Argentina survived with a World Cup overtime win against Cape Verde in Miami, 3-2. It was 1-1 after regulation. Cape Verde, ranked 67th in the world, did retie it 2-2 in the 103rd minute. Game-winning goal came in the 111th after Lionel Messi's corner kick. Egypt on penalty kicks, 4-2 over Australia in Dallas. The nightcap in Kansas City went to Colombia, 1-0 over Ghana. The round of 16 starts Saturday. The U.S. plays Monday night in Seattle against Belgium. The Lakers are trading center DeAndre Ayton to the Wizards. The Knicks are signing center Andre Drummond. WNBA wins for New York and for Las Vegas in overtime. To Major League Baseball, Milwaukee won in 11 innings at Arizona. In 10 innings, it was Cleveland over the White Sox. Tampa Bay won its 9th straight game. The Yankees ended a 7-game losing streak. The Dodgers handed the Padres a 7th straight loss. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moot.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah! Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
Final hour of FnA on FSR here on the 4th of July. I hope you guys are enjoying it wherever you may be celebrating. Hopefully you celebrate safely. Thanks to Mark Medina for joining us last hour, getting into all of the moving and shaking around the NBA over this past week. There's been a lot.
we might have to talk about some of that in the next segment. We'll also take your phone calls, 877-99 on Fox. If you want to weigh in on this next topic, don't forget, Mike on the mic at the very end of this hour, producer Mike. But I think it's time for guys like us who try to be fair and objective to weigh in on LeBron James and his tenure in Los Angeles.
LeBron James.
Because much has been said this week after we were let known that he's no longer going to be a Laker. We still don't know where he's going to end up, and Mark Medina told us in the last hour that don't expect anything to happen the 4th of July weekend. He talked with Rich Paul about that. So LeBron will give us a couple more days off before we all have to scramble with new takes about what team he's going to. And if that team is okay for him to go to, because there's this funny thing that happens with LeBron James. It's like if he ends up going to a team and taking too much money, but the team isn't good, they'll say he doesn't care about winning. If he goes to a team that's good and stacked and takes less money, they'll say, yep, oh, LeBron's on the Avengers again. Here we go, join another super team. So he can't win.
The bum's lost.
He's in a lose-lose situation. It's been like this forever. I saw one of our colleagues here at Fox Sports Radio, Brady Quinn, say earlier today or this week, LeBron has decided the mercenary route in his career. I would say it was kind of decided for him because of how bad Cleveland managed things his first time around in Cleveland, Ohio with the Cavaliers. Like when your best player is old Shaq or Antoine Jameson or Mo Williams or
it was Larry Hughes. They gave a crap ton of money to.
You don't have a choice if you actually want to win.
Now,
you
I will
have
say,
to leave.
In their defense, Chris Bosh, he tried to recruit to Cleveland, and he had no desire to go there. So this was LeBron going out. So the front office kind of had to deal with the hands they were dealt to a certain degree. They were dealing at a deficit. So they were trying their best to surround him with players to help entice him to stay and help him win. They just weren't the right type of players, but it was not for lack of trying. Cleveland is just a very difficult place to draw free agents to. It is.
They also gave away Carlos Boozer early on, which didn't help.
Well,
which would have been one of the better guys there for him.
Well, there was controversy around that.
There was.
I don't know if you remember that or not. Do you remember who his agent was at the time?
Was it Darren Williams?
His agent was Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka was Carlos Boozer's agent with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they did something that was not above board and legal. So he had a player option. He was not making a lot of money, but he was playing at an all-star level because I believe he was a second-round pick, if I remember. He broke his leg at Duke, was a great athlete, and then lost some of his athleticism, but still became a good player at the NBA level.
I bet his sons will be good someday.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. And so he opts out of his contract with the Cavaliers, and there's a wink, wink, nod, nod, handshake promise. Will opt out and will re-sign for a bigger contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He opts out of his contract, and then one day later, he signs a max contract with the Utah Jazz. And the problem is the Cleveland Cavaliers could not file a grievance with the NBA because you cannot, under the terms of the CBA, enter into an agreement while somebody is pending. So you can't say opt out and I'll sign you to an extension. That's not binding. So there was no action or recourse the Cavaliers had against the Jazz or Carlos Boozer and Rob Pelinka at the time.
Well, I think Rob Pelinka is obviously a big part of LeBron's story now and what happened with the Lakers. And we mentioned some of it earlier. But one of the things that I like to look at when I'm weighing how successful or unsuccessful a guy was is how did he stack up relative to how the Lakers were before he got there? It's interesting because nobody seems to bring up when they say LeBron ruined the Lakers or we were better without him, and Laker fans who were so loyal to Kobe that they were spray painting murals for LeBron before he showed up and were never going to like LeBron James. How were those last 5 years before LeBron got there? Because I'm pretty sure they averaged 25 wins per season.
5 straight seasons with fewer than 40 wins, and 3 of those 5 years they had fewer than 30. They were an absolute joke. They surrounded Kobe Bryant, who was on his last legs at that point, literally. Torn Achilles, busted kneecap, Timothy Mozgov, Luol Deng,
terrible contracts.
Roy Hibbert, Carlos Boozer, if we're going to throw him in there towards the end.
Yeah.
Like a washed up Carlos. These are the guys they were surrounding Kobe Bryant with in the twilight of his career. And they were a horrible perennial lottery team for the better part of 5 years.
And some of it was because nobody wanted to play with Kobe at that time, who was telling everyone, I'll teach you how to win, like Dwight Howard.
There were recruitment pitches to Dwight. There was a recruitment pitch, I think, to LeBron, if I remember, at one point in time.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Marcus Aldridge was in there. Carmelo Anthony, who eventually ended up coming to the Lakers many years later.
Also
but,
washed.
Yeah, but there was a pitch to him. He was not at that point in time, at the very least. They pitched to him to come play with Kobe, who we viewed as a big brother. But all these guys that they pitched, nobody wanted to come.
And then Kobe got the contract, which also eliminated more options because you had to stay under the cap, even though it's not as restrictive as it is now, obviously, with the double apron. But I think about that. And LeBron came in, and that first season, they actually, before he hurt his groin in that Christmas Day game, they were the 4th seed in the Western Conference. You can say they were only 30 games in or whatever it was, but they were playing pretty solid basketball. He misses 17 straight games, and they started to fall apart to the point where even when he came back, there was no salvaging that season. They missed the playoffs entirely. Oh, what happened after that? I don't know. Magic Johnson unceremoniously all of a sudden asked out.
I'm not going to be here.
Rob Pelinka takes over. And through having LeBron, they end up getting Anthony Davis.
That's right.
That next season, they are number 1 in the Western Conference, 65 games in about, and then the COVID shutdown happened, which I think needs to be emphasized because people seem to act like the Lakers were some 7th seed or something like that and weren't at the top of the Western Conference while fans were in attendance in arena before the bubble. They were dominant. They were the best seed in the Western Conference with 20 games left.
Their last 2 games before the shutdown, they beat the Clippers and they beat the Milwaukee Bucks, so I believe at the time were the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
We go into the bubble. They end up beating the Clippers again. They end up winning the championship, and people use that as a way to diminish LeBron some more, acting like it wouldn't have happened outside the bubble, even though, well, there's one top 3 seed that, or non-top 3 seed, I should say, that has won in the past 50 years in the NBA, meaning if you're a top seed, as they were, yes, they had a great chance to win. And, oh, by the way, it's funny to me that the same people that would defend the Dodgers championship in Los Angeles in the bubble, saying that actually it was harder because they didn't get the home field advantage they should have had, don't acknowledge that the Lakers would have had home court in the bubble, and yet they didn't and won anyways.
60 games that year.
Not 30, not 50. Well, in the NBA, they played 65 with the Lakers, and they still should have had home court in the playoffs, didn't have it, overcame that, and won the championship and beat the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. You remember all the talk about Portland in the first round and how Portland actually could be the antidote against the Lakers? They have the bigs to match up with Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard.
Oh, even Houston, when they had Russell Westbrook and James Harden, they can't keep up with those guys on the perimeter.
And yet every time they won, they said, it's the bubble. It's the bubble. In the end, they won because of it being the bubble. I don't think, I have to be honest, like if Doc Rivers is going to end up playing Montrezl Harrell against Anthony Davis like he did against Montrez with Nikola Jokic in the second round.
That's a bunch of crap.
No, it happened, Doc. I think the Lakers are probably winning that series against the Clippers, unfortunately. So I think the bubble championship should probably stand.
Well, look, if the San Antonio Spurs in 99, and that was a 50-game season. Now, granted, there's arenas and there's home court and all that stuff. It wasn't neutral, which I think that works to your disadvantage, to be honest with you, that the court is neutral and that you don't have home court advantage, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So if the only person who delegitimizes that Spurs championship is Phil Jackson for the most part.
Right.
So if you're legitimizing that, I don't know how you couldn't legitimize what the Lakers did in the bubble.
But this is one of the crux issues to the people that say it was a failure, LeBron James in his stay in Los Angeles in 8 years. The other thing I would weigh in is, I don't know, the NBA has changed. We haven't had Anybody go back to back or win twice the last 8 seasons now?
That's right.
It's almost like it's more competitive. There's more parity because of aprons, and they're trying to stop teams from going back to back. So comparing things like, well, he didn't do what other Laker greats had done in the past. To me, you're comparing two different, completely different eras. And oh, by the way, you know what? LeBron didn't get here in his prime at 26 or 27 or 28. He got here when he was 34. Should that not be taken into account? Nobody wants to bring up his age like he got here in his prime.
And I don't want it to seem as if I'm keeping up for the guy, but we kind of alluded to this earlier, and we talked about Rob Pelinka.
I'm keeping up for context.
Well, I just want to yes, because that's the thing. Everything falls on the shoulder of the superstar, and we talk about this. You mentioned context in all sports, whether a team wins or not. The surrounding cast that he has had to play with over the majority of his tenure with the Lakers has sucked, royally sucked. We had the team that they assembled in the bubble struggled a lot offensively, but they had so many defensive dogs, and they can make up for it with LeBron James and Anthony Davis carrying them on offense. Those are the kind of guys that they needed to continue to build around. But instead, whoever you want to blame, whoever you want to listen to, whether it was LeBron and Anthony Davis telling Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka to trade for Russell Westbrook, ultimately, Jeannie and Rob are the ones that signed off on it.
Yeah, the buck stops with them. That is their job.
LeBron James told Pat Riley to fire Eric Spoelstra and told Pat to coach, and Pat told him to go fly a kite.
You're out.
You're the player. I'm the general manager / owner / whatever. You do what I say. Play for Spo. The Lakers could have done the exact same thing with LeBron James, but they were scared. And I think they were scared because they knew that they needed him, because they knew what the abyss, as Victor Brick would say, they were coming out of, and they wanted to do every single solitary thing that they could to appease him while he was here, because that's what the Lakers do. We take care of our superstars, whether it's monetarily, giving them contracts that they shouldn't be getting, like Kobe Bryant got at the very end, or if it's LeBron James trading for his friends, bringing all his guys in, drafting his son, anything like that. They wanted to do whatever it took to appease him, and in trying to appease him, you actually ended up hurting his ability to compete for championships.
We have heard reports that, yes, Anthony Davis and LeBron James wanted Russell Westbrook. Were there any reports that they wanted a complete roster overhaul after winning the championship and losing wings and never getting two-way players? Oh, by the way, they didn't have Avery Bradley in the bubble because he didn't want to participate, which would hurt your team. They lost one of their wings there and really good defenders, and they still won. But no need to bring that up when you talk about dismissing the bubble championship, I guess. That would be too much context.
You're right. Well, it hurts with, you're breaking up the core. Look at all the guys they sent out to get, because Russell Westbrook was making max. He was making 35, whatever it was, $1 million at the time. So you had to ship out 5-6 guys, literally the core of those guys: Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. There were a couple of others. They don't end up signing or re-signing Alex Caruso, which was just a money-saving measure. We were not in the tax apron situation at that point in time. They didn't sign him to a contract because it was they didn't want to pay the luxury tax.
They could have matched. He asked
easily.
them to match what Chicago was offering. That's all. You don't have to go above and beyond. Some people thought that was because of THT, Talen Horton-Tucker, and maybe they did prefer him, but they could have kept both.
No, it was because they didn't want to pay the luxury tax. This is a Los Angeles franchise that did not want to pay luxury tax.
Don't get cheap on me, Dodson.
That is something that I will say, at least now, doesn't give any solace at this point. That's not something that I think the current ownership group would have an issue doing.
Rob Pelinka, I think, has his fingerprints much more on the perceived lack of success in the LeBron James era than LeBron does.
He should.
If you want to give him Russell Westbrook, fine. But you got to at least admit, okay, some of this is because him and Anthony Davis got hurt the 21-22 season. You can even go back to the playoff series in 2021 against Phoenix. They were up 2-1. Anthony Davis goes out.
And once Anthony Davis went down, they all went to crap, and Phoenix made a run.
It's like
they would have beaten the. I firmly believe if they had stayed healthy, they would have made a run at worst of the conference finals that year again.
Sure,
as a 7 seed or whatever they were.
Some of this the next year, he and AD both missed 40 games, and people are just like, well, why didn't LeBron win more championships? I don't know. Some of the time he was hurt. He obviously wasn't the same player after the Solomon Hill ankle injury that he took. The rosters weren't very good. The league got better around them. It got tougher to play with the new CBA and how you manage rosters and construct them. They had a bad coach in Darvin Ham. There's a ton of reasons that go outside of just it's because LeBron James isn't the GOAT. It's because he sucks.
Well, that's the easy trope, right? That's the easy thing to go to. They said people don't want to take the time to look at the context of it. LeBron James came to Los Angeles with the stated goal to win championships and be an all-time great, which, by the way, he did. He won a championship.
No,
so
it's the bubble, Kevin.
What are we talking about? And, in the midst of his 8-year run, so what? We're talking 6 playoff appearances, a couple of times to the conference finals, went to the NBA finals, won a championship. All things considered, and then once we break it down and talk about Rob Pelinka and the role that he had in the team not succeeding as well as they could have, I think it was successful, all things considered, considering the circumstances.
The way people talked about the bubble and that championship at the time, I actually pulled Bill Plaschke's article right afterwards. And it was titled, Lakers, LeBron James are now simply the best in NBA history. Now everybody wants to diminish it. At the time, I remember Doc Rivers saying, no, it doesn't deserve an asterisk. It deserves a gold star.
That's a bunch of crap. And y'all
No, he
know
said
it.
that.
Yeah,
with
a lot
how
of people-
difficult it was and how mentally challenging it was for players too, and how some were saying, this is just pure hoops. There's nothing else to do but hoop here. So this really tells you who the best team is. I remember all the narratives then that people have switched up on now.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if you say the excuse or the reason why certain teams, maybe folded and didn't play as well is because they were away from their families and outside of their routine, and it was hard for them to mentally focus. And whoever was going to win the championship in that situation was going to be more mentally tough. I think few people are surprised that a Pat Riley team will be mentally tough, that they made it to the finals with the Miami Heat, and they were outgunned by the Lakers. Absolutely, that was the narrative.
Let's talk
People
about-
said, let's put more credence into this championship, not less.
Let's talk about what this was really about in LA and why he wasn't accepted. And it's because it was
Kobe
him
stand.
versus Kobe for a while. And Lakers fans could never accept that. Something else with Bill Plaschke and what he said. And I love Bill. I adore Bill Plaschke. But I remember after Kobe's passing, that first game, pregame, they're taking on Portland. LeBron goes out there for a speech. And he had his note card with him. And then he threw it and said, you guys wouldn't respect me if I went off this. Bill Plaschke tweeted out and wrote about that now LeBron is finally a Laker. That's what was being said. He'd been there for a year and a half, but now he's a Laker. Like, Kobe's passing had to happen for him to be accepted as a Laker? Like, what are we talking about?
Depending on who you ask, even that wasn't enough. He's never been a Laker.
At the time, that was the moment that apparently he ingratiated himself with the fans and was more relatable, and that was it. And when they won the championship, they were all talking about this is for Kobe. And it was great. And they were on a mission to do it for them. Now it's Mickey Mouse ring. Like, I'm sorry, but my memory is better than what some people want to frame this as now.
Well, I will say this. I mean, that was Bill's take, and I don't know if that necessarily is a reflection of what a lot of other people felt. There's been a giant narrative of people, and whether that's Kobe stans or people who just never embraced LeBron. LeBron is a polarizing figure regardless if he's playing for your team or not. The idea that LeBron just never embodied what a Laker meant, whatever that's supposed to mean. I'm not sure what. Now, it got off to a very tough start, and Adam was at ground zero for this. When he tweeted out the fact, he never tweeted explicitly that he was going to go to a Blaze Pizza location in Culver City, which is a city here in Los Angeles. But he alluded to the fact that he might show up. And was it hundreds? Was it thousands? How many people showed up out there, Adam? Because you were there. You were there on the scene for our local affiliate, AM 570 LA Sports.
A good 500.
Okay.
And I was doing some man on the street reporting, and people were saying stuff like,
Where the hell you at, man?
That's right.
There was literally somebody there waiting for LeBron James.
And so the thought was you got off on the wrong foot by doing that and leaving a lot of LA fans out to dry. And there's a part of people that feel like he was a little bit aloof. Like when Shaq was in LA, he had all these charity events and did all these things and was out in the community a lot. I'm not saying that LeBron doesn't have charities and all that, but it certainly is not as front facing. Even with Kobe did the McDonald's Kids Foundation and all. You just didn't see LeBron James do all that stuff and ingratiate himself into the Los Angeles market as other stars had in the past. So I think that's a big reason why many people, they felt like because he was Kobe's contemporary, he probably needed to go that extra mile to further ingratiate himself to the fan base and to the city. And I believe a healthy amount of people believe he never did that.
The truth,
was he obligated to do that? No. because Mark Medina brought this up earlier too. I'll speak for myself. I've grown up a Laker fan my entire life.
Break time.
View LeBron to be a little bit of a mercenary, which is fine. This was purely transactional from the very beginning. He didn't have to be as beloved to me as Magic Johnson or Kobe Bryant or Shaq or anybody else or Kareem for as long as he was in LA.
You know, maybe he wouldn't be such a mercenary if when he came into the league, he had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to play next to, or he had Shaq to play next to and had success right away instead of being in godforsaken Cleveland with that team.
And that's a fair point to make. But for me, I wanted my team that had been in the doldrums for the past 5-6 years to be in a position where it could win a championship, regardless of how it got there. And if that meant bringing in LeBron James and Anthony Davis and clutch people, then so be it. So as long as it means that my franchise is able to win, that's all I cared about. Whether it was transactional, whether it appealed to my heart, I didn't really care about that.
I understand that point of view. We want to get everybody else's thoughts on this. 877-520-1150. More on LeBron.
877-99 on Fox is the number. 877-99 on Fox. You can call that if you want to do hop on Adam's Clippers talk show, which is a phenomenal show, by the way.
877-99 on Fox is the phone number. I need some more caffeine during the break here, obviously. He's Kevin Figures. I'm Adam Oslin. This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Do you like having fingers?
Yes is the answer.
Thought so.
Get close to the radio.
We want to remind you that fireworks explode. Boom, boom. Granted, sometimes we explode.
The Lakers are not the Milwaukee Bucks.
But your fingers are safe with us. Happy 4th of July weekend from Fox Sports Radio.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging
Let me check that for you.
to help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
NASCAR, race day, driver gets glory, right? But the pit crew, 9 seconds, 4 tires, the track personnel, the engineers, half those people are veterans and military family members, and you've never heard their names.
That's why Vet the Vote launched Unsung Heroes' new campaign, honoring the VMF behind the scenes in sports and honoring those who keep serving as poll workers in their own communities. Same discipline, same leadership brought right to your hometown. VetThe.vote/NASCAR. Check it out.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know we're on YouTube? Fox Sports Radio. You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live.
It's so good.
Covino and Rich. Ooh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube. Wow. By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
He's Steve Covino.
Kick it!
He's Rich Davis.
I thought of like the worst idea possible.
It's Covino and Rich.
We are in a serious situation here.
They're dropping knowledge
Everything about it is stupid.
and names.
We did an interview with Jay-Z, and Kavino's like, yo, quick pick. And Jay's like, no. He's like, no.
What up, Cavino and Rich?
It's Cavino and Rich.
Bringing it to the entire nation.
Weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, here's a little something that you missed from the Ben Maller Show.
Think of it like instant mashed potatoes. Just add some water.
Dan Campbell had said very passionately back in April that the Lions did not believe that Terrion Arnold was involved in this incident in Florida, and that as far as they knew, it was, here's the quote, "It's not a big deal," close quote. The organization also said it thoroughly questioned Terrion Arnold about the situation, and they said he wasn't involved. He wasn't involved. There's a photo of Dan Campbell having a heartfelt conversation with Arnold on the field that has been making the rounds. So the question, you've got Lions coach Dan Campbell, who said back in April that defensive back Terrion Arnold's incident was, quote, not a big deal. On the disaster index, where does this land? All right, where does this land? That the question. So on the disaster index, this was not a shark attack. It was just a mosquito bite. Unfortunately for Dan Campbell, it turns out this was a giant mosquito from Jumanji, and the Lions, franchise now has West Nile. So it's a mosquito bite, but it's a problem. Campbell allowed himself to be missiled. Like he assumed his player was being truthful. And you know what happens when you assume? That's right. You end up getting hoodwinked, bamboozled, and hornswoggled, which is what happened here. And this is the situation.
To get the rest of what Big Ben said, podcast it by searching The Ben Maller Show. And as always, you can hear The Ben Maller Show weekdays from 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gotts.
Yes.
And he Gotts Company.
I love that.
Stu Gotts and Company. Live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports.
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
With whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes the lights off.
It's Stu Gotts and Company live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. We like to give. We give you news.
There is late breaking news.
It has been confirmed.
Multiple outlets have just reported.
We give you videos.
Watch us live on YouTube right now.
We give you a platform.
Go ahead, you're on Fox Sports Radio.
FnA is great as he is.
We give you the best sports talk lineup in the nation. All day, all night. We're giving it to you.
How you do anything is how you do everything, right?
You know you're listening to Fox Sports Radio, the premier sports lineup in the nation. FS1. From first things first in the herd to your sports teams, FS1 has what you need. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
It's a classic depiction of good versus evil.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
It is FnA on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Adam Moslem. He's Kevin Figures. If you missed any of today's show, you'll want to catch the podcast. Just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get that podcast. Right after the show, today's podcast will be posted by Mike. Be sure to follow the podcast, rate it 5 stars, and you can even provide a review. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get that podcast. Follow the feed, and you'll find today's full show posted right after we get off the air.
877-99 on Fox is the telephone number if you guys want to chime in on our topic. LeBron James's legacy in Los Angeles. How do you view it? Was it successful? Was it a failure? 877-99 on Fox. Let's go to San Diego. Ken, hello.
Show me your lightning bolt.
What's up?
What's going on,
What's
Ken?
up, fellas?
Good,
hey,
man.
what's up, fellas? To me, overall, I think the LeBron era was a success because I think a lot of ungrateful Laker fans aren't remembering the previous 5 years were the worst in Laker history. It was embarrassing, that youth movement that everybody wanted with Randall and Ingram and Lonzo Ball when they were winning 17 to 20 games a year, and they were the laughingstock of the league, and they couldn't even get guys. They were rejected by bums like Dwight Howard and LaMarcus Aldridge just come down. It was barren for the Lakers. So he saved the franchise when he came here. It really turned them around. It wanted guys like superstars like AD, and it overhauled the franchise to come back to greatness. So did they win as many titles as they thought? No, but I thought they got to one. But let's face it, he's playing with guys like AD who can't stay on the court. So injuries, I think, derailed it. So overall, I give it an overall success. I don't care about the nonsense with the comparing him to Kobe. He never even compared himself to Kobe. He always compares himself to MJ. And let's face it, as much as I love Kobe, LeBron is a much better all-around player than Kobe is in the history of the sport. So, and now going forward, guys, no excuses for Luka. So I don't want to hear about him being out of shape or him not being able to stay on the court, because let's face it, as great as Luka is, he's a great offensive talent. He's not a leader. He can't stay in shape, and he whines a lot. So this new direction now with him and Reeves and Walker Kessler, it better result in long playoff runs and title runs, because otherwise I don't want to hear the excuses, and he better get the same smoke LeBron was getting, because now it's his team and he has nobody to rely on. And let's face it, last year at age 41, LeBron was still their best player down the stretch, and they don't even win a first-round series because, once again, Luka was hurt and Reeves was inconsistent. So, guys, I want to get your overall thoughts now. The clock is ticking now on Luka. No more excuses on him and Reeves and all the rest of these guys. You got LeBron out of town. It's your team. You better get it done, guys, or he's going to get the wrath next up. Thanks for the time, fellas.
Rack that guy.
Rack him.
Look, Ken, I'll say this. So the roster is definitely built in Luka Doncic's image, and there was a report, I believe it was Dan Wojcicki of The Athletic who had it on Friday, saying that he is pleased with what the move that the Lakers have made. The Quentin Grimes signing, it sounds like he has a really good relationship with JJ Redick, and he reportedly or allegedly pounded the table to sign him. Played briefly with Luka in Dallas, so obviously he signed off on that as well. So there is an element of, Adam and I talked about it in the first hour of the show. I guess we didn't actually articulate it this way, but the Lakers are a worse basketball team today than they were last week. I'll put it that way. So if it's built in Luka's image, I mean, good for him, but does it mean that they're any closer to competing for a championship? Absolutely not.
I think the defensive limitations this team has, even if they're a 3 or 4 seed, because offensively they're a juggernaut in the regular season, they're still not a championship level team the way they're constructed right now without having the two-way wings that are just necessary in today's league to win. Ken reminded me of something there, at least made me think about something, as we get further and further away from the Kobe era, from the Magic era, from Jerry West, and people are winning less championships, and we're already 8 straight years of a team not going back to back or a team winning twice. Like, as time goes on, maybe the LeBron era will be looked at differently from the majority of Laker fans. They'll understand, the NBA actually changed. It's not as simple as it used to be. So maybe we should grade it differently than we thought about it at the time.
So much more parity now, and this is something that Adam Silver explicitly wants, and that's why we have all these rule changes and all these aprons and taxes. That's what's going to end up happening. We are not going to have, I think we're going to be hard pressed to find teams that win championships 3 in a row or 3 in 5 years even. It's just going to be really hard to keep cores like this together.
I mean, what if the Luka era goes without winning a championship? What if he comes up empty? Because it's just so difficult right now, especially with 2 teams in the West that are this good already and getting better. All right, let's go to Andrew in Boston. Oh, Bostonian. I'd like to hear his thoughts about the Lakers.
Guess how this might go.
Andrew, what's up?
What's up, guys? I just want to say LeBron's time with the Lakers, I don't want to say it was a failure, but it's not a success. I mean, he did have the team, in the middle range, but the West is dominated by OKC and Spurs for the next 2 to 3, 4 years. I mean, even Luka with LeBron, I don't think would have a chance of winning the West. I don't think LeBron. I still think LeBron can compete at a high level, but he needs at least 1 or 2 superstars around him. He has to go somewhere I don't know where. I don't even know where he can go to win a championship, to be honest. So yeah, it's just, and I want to say one thing about the giving back and charity in Boston. It's kind of you have Tatum and you have Jaylen Brown. And Tatum, I'm a Tatum guy. I want Tatum over Jaylen Brown. But Jaylen Brown does so much in the community. And as I get older, I just appreciate that more. And like when he signed his big contract, he did it at like the Boys and Girls Club, like to announce this huge project he was doing for Boston and everything. And it's just hard to see him go in the way he went. And LeBron sucks. And Kevin, I gotta say, you have some great points. And Adam, I love you, but you have a shock jock radio voice. Not you have good points.
Don't get that very often.
Your voice is funny, brother. I gotta say, and I can't say anything because I'm talking with a stuffed nose and can't even breathe right now. But good show, and yeah, LeBron sucks. LeBron's not going to win the championship anywhere in the next few years.
All right. Well, thank you for the call, Andrew. Feel better, man.
All right. I thought that was pretty fair
Mostly
overall.
fair.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with the fact that LeBron sucks, but to each their own.
That was the Boston part of him coming
Yeah,
out. Like if they picked up LeBron on the minimum, I think he'd change his mind pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be an interesting. I think that would be a great spot for LeBron to go, to really just take a dig and stick it to Laker fans, because hey, they never accepted him anyways. It. Might as well go to their biggest rival and take the minimum when he wouldn't have taken that with the Lakers.
I think that's part of one of the alleged reasons why he left, about not feeling appreciated either by the organization, by the fans, by the city, or a combination of all of it.
We had our buddy Fred Rogan this week say, quote, "He wore a Laker uniform, but wasn't a Laker. I always felt that way."
Well, I mean, and Fred, to his credit, has been saying this for 5-6 years.
He has been very consistent.
It picked up a lot of steam this week because LeBron decided to leave the Lakers, but this is not something that Fred has not been saying for years.
I think another thing that will make this LeBron era be viewed differently eventually is how many guys move teams to try to win elsewhere. I think that will be more common. We'll see more mercenaries. It won't look as out of the ordinary. You went from Kobe staying for 20 years, even though he tried to leave once, to then going to a guy that is joining you on his third team now. It's just like it's a culture shock for Laker fans to have to accept somebody like that, too. They're not used to it.
Yeah, I talked about Dwight Howard, nowhere near the scale of LeBron James, obviously, but I mean, that same thing happened. They were flabbergasted that he would leave, that he would dare leave the Laker franchise and go somewhere else.
All right, who else?
Jerome's in the house. I said Jerome in the house. Jerome in Charleston. What's going on, bro?
You watch too much Martin. Okay?
Oh, it's one of my favorite shows, brother. Come on now.
I know it is. I know it is. I can tell. Hey, the Laker fans are so damn bourgeois and out of touch. This is the way modern day sports is. People jump from people get married multiple times. You think jumping from one team to another? Elizabeth Taylor was married 8 damn times. I mean, hey, you got Chelsea and his girlfriend getting, God knows how long that's going to last. Because you know how these celebrities are. They'll jump from one place to another, all right? So I don't hold this against. This is the way business is now. Nobody stays with one team for forever. It doesn't happen. Hey, oh yeah, let's all be like the damn Dodgers, okay? Just give this guy $800 million and don't have to pay him like about 20% for the next 400 years, okay? And keep winning. And everybody, oh no, we don't need a salary cap. You see how hard the Oilers are pushing for that right now? It doesn't make sports interesting when the same people win all the damn time. It's boring as hell, and people are tired of it. And look how long it took the next 50 years, and they're getting rid of everybody except for maybe Brunson and a few other people. So, hey, this is the way sports is. It's all over the place, man.
Well, you look
Get used to it.
Jerome, you're right completely. Look at the Knicks. Who are the homegrown guys they had that just won this championship? They pieced the team together. Come on now.
Mitchell Robinson's got
he's the only one.
$47 million.
And he's gone.
And he can't even hit the broad side of a damn barn, and he's a doofus. Okay?
Oh, that's not fair. You gotta call Mitchell Robinson a doofus. I mean, come on.
Come on, man. When you see the way he walks, the guy's got like he's 7 feet tall. He's got like a 14-inch foot. And he walks through it like a duck. You know, I mean, come on, man. It's all watered down anyway.
Jerome, you're wrong for that, man.
I haven't heard a good doofus call in a while.
Hey, Jerome, love you, man. Thanks for listening, brother. Appreciate it. Happy 4th to you. Be safe.
Thanks, Jerome.
Yeah, he's right, especially about the NBA when it comes to, and you mentioned this a second ago with player movement. Because of the aprons, because of the salary cap, it's just really impossible to keep a lot of these guys together for any extended period of time and be able to build and cultivate winning rosters. You're going to have to end up breaking these things up. One thing the Thunder and OKC have in their favor, and who knows exactly what the lottery situation is going to look like after this sunset period goes away, but Adam Silver already said on record it's not going back to the way it was before.
Right.
So the idea that you can tank your way and get, Steph Castle, Dylan Harper, and Victor Wembanyama to be linchpins of your franchise for the next 8 years, those days are long gone, at least in that form.
Yeah, so the two teams that look to be the most dominant teams moving forward for an extended period of time, the teams that really have a championship window, they're not a template for anything. Because the way they built things is already antiquated. That's in the past. You can't even do that anymore.
Yeah, and Mark, I know we have to run, but the idea that it's boring to have the same people win all the time, I think having villains to root for or against is actually good for a sport. I don't know if it's the healthiest thing for the NBA to have a different champion 8 straight years. I don't know if that's great.
We shall see how things go and transpire moving forward with all the rule changes and CBA stuff and lottery news. But coming up next, it's Mike on Mike. Producer Mike takes over the show here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Today, we celebrate the birth of our nation. USA! The birth of excellence.
Ain't America great?
And how do we do this? By firing up that grill and blowing stuff up.
Setting things ablaze.
Happy Independence Day.
Happy 4th of July.
We're Fox Sports Radio.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's go! You must have been busy, but The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington, we're breaking this down.
Every day I'm shuffling.
I never thought there would be a day where the Lakers would have more white players than the Ottawa Senators. I mean, I just cannot get over. And it stands out from this reason, and I don't care what anybody says. The NBA is about 75% black. It's just weird to see. I don't even know if the Utah Jazz ever had this many white starting players.
They told the 80 Celtics, hold my beer.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to this. I remember watching a game on CBS when the NBA was on CBS. Dick Stockton and Tommy Heinsohn were doing the game. And it's the end of the game. It's the Jazz against the Celtics. What do both of those have in common? Okay, so I'm already going to tell you, the Jazz and the Celtics. And it's a blowout. It's the end of the game. And both coaches empty the bench. And there are 5 against 5 all-white players playing on the court at the same time. And I give Tommy Heinsohn credit. He says, hit record on your VCR. You'll never see this again in the history of the NBA. 5 white guys playing against another 5 white guys in the NBA. And then today happened with the Lakers.
Look, the Lakers told you history repeats itself, Rob. That's what they told you.
Kelvin, what was your reaction? I'm not. Where?
I used to joke. Me and Rob G used to talk about the tres leches.
To get the rest of what The Odd Couple said, podcast it by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
Taylor has advice for England if they want any chance to win in Mexico. What's your advice for them? Because Mexico has this home field advantage that I'm not all too comfortable with. I have to be honest. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you this right now. My advice is to give them some chance, because right now they don't have a chance. They are walking to their funeral, going to the Azteca, playing Mexico right now, the way Mexico's playing. Right. But ask yourself this: Mexico beat Ecuador. What was Ecuador's biggest downfall in their loss to Mexico?
They didn't score at all.
Yeah. Well, doesn't help.
Their biggest downfall was the night before the game, the Mexico fans that were camped outside Ecuador's hotel, blasting horns and honking and trumpets. So how do you avoid this if you're England? A decoy bus with decoy players.
Stu Gatz and Company live is right here. Weekdays, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
We begin
with the Ben Maller Show. Handle with care.
What are the Lions saying by releasing Terrion Arnold before the legal process plays out? There was not enough there to keep him locked up without bond. The judge giving him, granted, $1 million is a pretty big number, but still able to reach the bond. So what are the Lions saying by releasing Terrion Arnold? This one is not that complicated. You don't need to be some kind of highly educated person from academia. If you're a top-level player, we know how this works. And it's really true in any business. In my business in radio, same thing applies. But if you're elite, they'll wait for you. If you're not, it's a different animal. If you're a 2024 first-round pick out of Alabama and you did not meet expectations, you get the pink slip.
Ben Maller, weeknights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. We are all over the place. Not only are we on your radio right now, we're streaming on the iHeartRadio app. Fox Sports Radio. We have social clips all over social media platforms.
I'm going to guess that the audience probably feels it's pretty cool.
And we have videos. So many videos. Countless videos. Too many to count videos on our YouTube channel.
What a wonderful world we're living in. Isn't it great?
Like I said, we're all over the place. Fox Sports Radio. We are Fox Sports Radio. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details.
Go! Check them out.
FS1.
Check them out.
FS1.
America, yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
That's right. For the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune into Fox Sports Radio's Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. We will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
Happy 4th. Before we get out of here, we're not taking you into 4 hours, unfortunately. Let's get to this.
USA. Hey, is this on? Quiet, please. Shut up. It's Mike on Mike.
Yes.
Producer Mike, what's good?
What's going on, fellas? Happy 4th of July to everybody.
Happy 4th, brother.
So I want to get into this. Obviously, we talked about it quite a bit during the show and the last segment specifically. But
is it about my shock jock voice?
Yeah.
That's right.
I never knew. I don't get that very often. I take it as a compliment.
Andrew in Boston, man.
I was watching, Howard Stern Private Parts the other night, and all of a sudden I'm a shock jock.
All right. Well, two ends of an era in LA in the basketball world. Obviously, we talked about LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard getting traded back to the Toronto Raptors. Yeah. So I'm going to ask a little two-parter question here. LeBron spent 8 years in his Laker career with one finals win and finals MVP, and 2 times he went to the Western Conference Finals. Kawhi spent 7 years with the Clippers, went to 1 Western Conference Finals, did not play in it, however.
Thanks for the reminder.
I know. I'm sorry. Both were handed superstars very early on in their tenures with the clubs. Obviously, Paul George with Kawhi, Anthony Davis with LeBron. So here's the two-parter question. Which tenure was more impressive, and which team is going to miss their outgoing superstar?
Quiz, hot shot.
Well, the Lakers with LeBron has to be more impressive because they did win a championship. The disappointing part about Kawhi Leonard, there's been the story of the last 8 years of his career is he can't stay healthy. And if he had stayed healthy, sky's the limit. Who knows?
I feel like you put a firecracker up my butt or something like to end the show here. Like, why did we have to do this, Mike? The hell?
I had to sit here and hear shots about the Dodgers and the Lakers. So
there it is.
Oh, vindictive, Mike. Cut from the same cloth. I like it. Yeah, I don't know how I can argue by the fact that even though it was a bubble championship, and I think we kind of legitimized it by all the arguments we made about the bubble, that LeBron's tenure, well, maybe, I mean, they both, they had a very high standard. You have to win championships when you make moves this big. The Clippers didn't. Wasn't their fault. Tears his ACL.
I know we can blame Doc Rivers, and rightfully so, but I believe they had a 3-1 lead over the Denver Nuggets in the bubble. And was that the second round, I believe? Yes.
Yeah, well, don't play Montrezl Harrell against Nikola Jokic. Maybe.
Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were relatively healthy from what I remember. Matter of fact, I remember Paul George hitting the backboard on a 3-point attempt in Game 7 at one point. That stands out to me.
Okay. The M80 is fully down my throat now. Like,
he's on fire!
Why are you guys doing this?
Just pointing out facts. I'm answering a question, Adam. You guys, I didn't do anything.
Roasted like the hot dogs on 4th of July. Jeez.
All right, what was the second question, Mike?
So the second question is, which team is going to miss their outgoing superstar more?
Well, the circumstances are different for each, because I don't know how much the Clippers are going to miss Kawhi, because admittedly so, Lawrence, they're not in a they're not in a championship window. Or a contender status. They're in a competitive status.
Exactly.
So they're in a situation where we're going to compete for playoff spots, but also knowing realistically we have no chance of winning a championship. So if you can get yourself a lot of assets for Kawhi Leonard, which they did from Toronto, and that's a move I like for both sides, by the way, that's different. The Lakers, I think, with LeBron James, we've mentioned this earlier in the show, you trade for Kessler. If LeBron stays, you add guys that you actually need and can actually help you. You kind of bridge the gap a little bit. I still don't think they'd be able to beat Oklahoma City or San Antonio, but I do think they're better positioned. So the Lakers were in a championship window with Luka Doncic being in the prime of his career. The Clippers are in a different aspect of their franchise right now in their timeline.
As I remove the Piccolo Pete and the Roman candle from my esophagus here,
and boom goes the dynamite.
I do think the expectations are obviously much higher for the Lakers moving forward, and I think the if they brought back Kawhi Leonard, we're not going to be a contender currently with this squad. So if you look at it that way, I don't know. The Lakers might miss LeBron more in the end if they don't meet those expectations. If all these signings don't work out and LeBron is over there getting to an Eastern Conference Finals or making it to the NBA Finals, and they're looking at that like, oh, that's the one that got away. We probably should have signed him instead of Quentin Grimes. I don't know.
Now, I will say, by the way, for the Raptors aspect, I put themselves in decent contender status. You have Kawhi Leonard, you have Scotty Barnes, and you have Murray Boyles. Those are three quality, top-notch defensive players. Kawhi's taken half a step back, but still one of the better defensive wings in the NBA. They're light in the front court at center outside of Pirtle, but the way the Eastern Conference shakes up, I think they could be a legitimate contender. I think things can break their way. They can have a shot.
So they're like 10 to a degree, but yeah, I'm with you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you
5 seconds.
Guys, for listening. Much appreciated. Happy 4th. Be safe. Project NIL is next here on Fox Sports Radio.